welcome to another episode of the Brand X Podcast. I'm John, and I am here in studio with my co-host, Deuce, who on social media, I assassinated his character this week.
Yes, this is true.
And also in the studio for the very first time, and it's been a long time coming, and it's probably the reason why I even brought the studio down here and made a Brand X. So you are the responsibility of the BXP studio and the availability for us to go live, so thank you. It is Deuce's brother, Joe. Joe, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, and it's a pleasure to have expanded your,
You ass.
You are an ass.
So since we're just starting the show, we actually did a whole hour before this show.
That was the pre-show show.
We did the pre-show, which was an hour. And that pre-show will be on the end of this show. So that's what's going on. Also, unfortunately, Joe, being the trooper he is, he's got a cold, and he's hanging in here with us. So you might hear a sniffle or two.
Yeah.
But he's going off mic and trying to do it. And he doesn't have a cough button like I do. Like I can just put my mic back on again. But you can't do that.
That was disconcerting.
Spin my head around and cough into a napkin.
That's right. There you go. All right. So, did you listen to 3 Years Comedy today, Deuce?
Yeah, does the Pope shit in the woods?
Of course the Pope shits in the woods.
6 o'clock in the morning. I'm there waiting for it to down. Okay, let's go.
So we both had a mention.
Yes, we did.
In there. And they were talking about the worst movies.
Yes.
And Mindy was talking about how she doesn't like Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now.
I have heard you say that forever.
Yes. I don't find him funny. He's
horrible.
horrible.
Big Will Ferrell fan in John here.
Not at all. I think he's the most unfunny guy in the movies. How he makes a living doing that, how people think he's funny.
Well, he's got a mean pair of knee pads.
I would imagine. But anyhow, so I agree with Mindy that Will Ferrell is not that funny. There's a lot of movies that, I'll tell you another guy that I don't think was funny that they were talking about was Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh, I disagree. I liked Borat.
Right.
That was a scream.
Okay.
But I did not like Bruno.
Okay.
That's a little too,
It's just not my taste.
Yeah,
Here's the thing.
You know what it is? It's that uncomfortable humor.
Exactly.
And some people don't enjoy that.
Right. See, I don't like it when I'm all tensed up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it when I get all tensed up. It's that whole, it's cringe humor.
Right now, without even batting an eye, what do you think the funniest movie ever made is?
Blazing Saddles. Who?
You.
The funniest movie I've ever seen or ever made?
Ever, in your opinion.
Blazing Saddles.
Seen. Okay.
Blazing Saddles.
I would put that in the top 3.
Okay.
For me, I would go, my favorite is Caddyshack.
Okay, that would make my top 3.
Okay, Stripes, and then Blazing Saddles.
Stripes would make my top 10.
And then Animal House would be...
That's in my top 3.
Pretty much, that you know what, that would probably...
That's my top 3. It would be in this order. Blazing Saddles, Animal House, Caddyshack.
Yeah, Caddyshack was like epic.
What about you, Joe?
I would have to say Young Frankenstein would top the list.
That's in my top 5,
yeah.
If not my top 10.
I put that. The Producers with Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
You got to see it.
Yeah,
okay.
The original one.
It's a must. Yeah, don't watch that new one with Matthew Broderick and Nathan Hale.
Right.
Then I would say, believe it or not, a lot of people are going to disagree, but I think there's something about Mary. I thought that was really fun.
Yeah,
I laughed my ass off.
I'd put that in the top 10.
And
top 25.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
For clever humor, I think that was...
That's in the top 10. But, yeah, so they're the kind of movies I like.
Porky's.
Porky's was a good
one. And
one.
Hollywood Nights.
There's a sleeper. Hollywood Nights.
That's right. Everyone forgets about Hollywood Nights until some asshole mentions it, and I'll be that asshole.
I was going to say.
And Hollywood Nights is a funny movie. It's a really, really funny movie. But I agree with you and Mindy. I do not see the funny in Will Ferrell. I never did. And everyone goes crazy over that dopey elf movie around Christmas time. You see it on Facebook all over the place.
Right.
And I just want to accidentally cut my head off while I'm shaving. Whenever that comes up, it's just like...
Yeah, it's not even... I wouldn't even say that's in the top 10 of Christmas movies.
Yeah. I think Bob Newhart was funnier in that movie than Will Ferrell was.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. But it was his vehicle and he was the star. But
I watched it one time. I think I watched it once, and and I think that was on protest. If there's a Will Ferrell,
Amnesty International was involved.
Yes. It was involved a woman, and she wanted to watch it, and I wasn't really wanted to watch it. But
You chained yourself to the seat or something?
So you put on your game face.
That's
and
right, because
that
there was sex involved later on.
Yeah, you have to play the
Play
game.
the game face.
Yeah, so it was under protest.
Under duress.
Right, exactly. Now, the other thing that you said, that the one skit that he does that everybody raves about is the cowbell skit Will Ferrell does. And I'm just saying that you could have actually got an actual homeless person, and they could have done it just as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what made it funny that I think is that he was wearing that sweater, and the sweater starts riding up, and his belly's hanging out.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because from what I read about that sketch, they did it in rehearsal, and it wasn't funny. Like, it was just like kind of dry. And then someone, whether it was Will Ferrell or not, if it was Will Ferrell's idea, then I got to tip my hat to him. But they said that they then put on a sweater on him that was 2 sizes too small, and that's what made it funny.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
So you're trying to tell me that you have to put okay.
But I think, the
that's
funniest part of that
that's what I read. I can't.
So the skit wasn't funny. It was funny to see his belly.
I think
Christopher Walken. I think was
one at a time. Hang on.
I think the sketch was brilliant. I think it was brilliant myself.
I like a good cowbell. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite songs have cowbells in it.
I think Christopher Walken was.
He's good in it.
I like when you see him in the back room, like cracking
He started
up.
laughing.
He's losing his shit,
Yes,
and then he's got to pull it all together and then come back like, fellas, that was better than the first take. You know.
Well, I need some more cowbell.
I got a fever
for the cowbell.
I got a fever.
And the only prescription
is more cowbell.
Right.
I think it was brilliant. And I also read somewhere that the 2 guys that were in the band Blue Oyster Cult were watching that. And the one guy called the other guy up and said, "Are you seeing this right now?" like they couldn't believe it either.
Do we have to add a cowbell to this song now?
I think we need to add a cowbell to this podcast.
Right.
Joe, get on that. You're the drummer.
Yeah, we need I'll tell you what.
A couple cowbells.
I want to get. I would love to do a new theme song for this show. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've other ones, but like maybe we could put a cowbell in our theme song.
Yeah, I'm all up for that. Everyone loves a little cowbell.
Everybody likes a little cowbell. I'm a big fan of the cowbell.
It's easy enough to do.
All right, let's get into our first story, and it's a follow-up story from the Jimmy episode.
Yes.
It's the Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? It's the Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do?
Part of my throat clearing.
You can't hear it over the Jimmy music. Okay, so.
Okay, 2 weeks ago we had the Jimmy in here, and you brought up the story about how a motorist defended a state trooper that was being attacked by a man. That's how he was identified. And I at that time I had pointed out that I don't know all the facts, but I'm going to go out on a limb here because of the nature of these types of stories, because I had read an article that has held up over the last 3 or 4 years. And whenever they identify the perp as a man, it's usually always an illegal alien or it's an Islamic jihadist. Okay. So since it happened in Arizona, I just took the bull by the horns and I said, I'm going to say that it's this. And I played. So now we have the follow-up story. Okay, and the motorist who killed the man attacking a state trooper was described Monday by the trooper's boss as a humble spiritual man who believes God had put him on a desolate stretch of Interstate 10 to save the trooper's life. Okay, and then it goes on to say, it gives you background about the individual. Okay, and then we get to the meat of the story. And if I can find it.
Don't you have it? Don't you have the?
Yes, I do.
Okay, just check it.
I probably just skipped through it.
Yeah, why do you have to be?
What do you do?
Why do you have to be a simple ass?
Yes, it's my destiny. So,
yeah.
Essentially, if I can find this, you have it up there.
The man who had been hunted by California for a long weekend and his fiancée had no military or law enforcement background, but routinely practiced his marksmanship with. Oh, that's the guy.
Right. And I got
here it is.
I got it now.
No, now you got it.
Okay, so I'm gonna scroll down. Blah 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 blah. But he was basically identified.
Tell you what, you're no anchor man.
No, I am not. I am no Will Ferrell.
No Will Ferrell. Yeah.
Go ahead. You got it there.
Yes. The attack was identified as a former Mexican federal police officer who was believed to be in the country illegally. And the Phoenix woman who died at the scene on Thursday.
Who's playing that?
It must be on the website.
Don't look at me.
It's not me.
It's not me.
Yeah, a woman dies and they play
It has to be on you. It has to be you. It's not me. There we go.
It may have been on me.
I was like, I don't know how this goes with the story, but okay. I'm along for the ride.
And her name was?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Well, no, I don't see it on here.
You don't see it.
No, what is it?
Let's do it this way. Okay, here's the attacker was Leonard Penales Escobar, a 37-year-old man who was believed to be in the country illegally and was a known methamphetamine user. Milstead said, based on Department of Homeland Security databases, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has determined Mr. Penales was a Mexican national who was unlawfully in the United States at the time of his death. Penales Escobar previously had tried to enter the U.S. once in 2005 and was turned away, but had been living in Glendale for at least a year and a half. It was unclear if he had ever been deported. Okay, and I'm sure they're going to find out that he wasn't. And, of course, the woman that was also involved was Vanessa Lopez Ruiz, who was also, she was American, actually, it says here.
Okay.
But she was a methamphetamine user. But as we were trying to get out with the Jimmy that last time he was here, whenever you see a story involving this type of nature, when they identify it as an unidentified man, it's always an illegal alien, almost always, I should say. Or it's an Islamic jihadist, because they don't want to rush to judgment. Once again, it's the PC police trying to. They don't offend anybody.
Well, that's like if you see like a story about a rape in the city. Okay, the assailant is described as being 6'4", and well, where the hell's that going to get you?
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a lot of 6'4" guys.
They don't tell you.
They
They don't want to say what color he is. They don't want to, because that might upset somebody. Well, it doesn't help these women.
I'm sure it would upset the guy. I'm sure it would upset the rapist if they told him exactly what he looked like.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Shit, they're on to me.
God
damn!
damn!
You got these women. Every guy they see, they're going to be fucking going parallel.
God damn! That sounds like Tyrone.
Can you do me a favor?
Tyrone, where were you last Friday? What are you talking about? I'm not telling you where I was last Friday.
But and like Jimmy was like, "Wow, Deuce jumps right in there." And I says, "Well, we'll wait. Well, I'll be monitoring this story closely," and I did. And
of course
finally, I found out that it was what I predicted it would be.
The reason I brought that story up was because if that would be the Jimmy's dream, where there was a guy on, fighting with a cop, and he could actually go to his car, get his gun out, and shoot the guy.
Jimmy wants to be that guy.
Jimmy wants to be the guy that shot him.
He wants to be the hero.
Oh boy, I get to shoot a guy. No, he doesn't want to be the hero. He just wants to shoot somebody. Yeah. Shoot him again. Oh shit, I'm out.
But it was, I just thought I was waiting for a couple of weeks. Well, not a couple of weeks, but finally it broke with the guy's identity, and I was closely monitoring that story just for that reason. But that's the first follow up that we have.
Oh, I don't think there's. Well, the guy who was the Good Samaritan, he's not identifying himself because he doesn't want any.
No, he'll get shit.
They'll go after him.
Right, exactly.
But they are identifying him as some type of former law enforcement official, I believe.
No, they says he has the man who was heading to California for a long weekend with his fiance had no military or law enforcement background, but routinely practices his marksmanship with people he knows.
So he's a supporter.
So he's a supporter, yeah. So he goes and he's a lawful gun owner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there. It's a good thing he was there.
That cop probably would have been killed.
Yeah. There's been a lot of Border Patrol agents and law enforcement officials that have been killed along the border because of this situation. So,
okay. So our next story. All right. Have you seen the show on Fox? It's called Hunted.
No.
Okay. This show.
Heard about it.
It's fantastic. You got to go back. If you can go back and.
Is it a drama?
It's
a
reality show.
Okay.
All right. So let me tell you what's going on here with this. Is what they did was they got 18 people, 9 couples, but it's not 2 people teams. All right, they go up and they say, okay, you're on the run. They give them an hour head start, and they give them a debit card. that has $500 in there, and they have to stay. It's like Alabama, northern Florida, Georgia, and some of South Carolina.
Right.
And they can go anywhere in those in that area, and they have to stay.
They have to avoid capture. And
they have to avoid capture for 28 days.
Wow.
Okay, and if they avoid capture for 28 days, they get $250,000.
Wow.
So what they do, the thing is they have people hunting them, like the cops. So it's CIA director, all these, and they have all the capability of the federal government and all the technology that's available to hunt these people down. Dude, I'm telling you, I don't know how anybody gets away from the police. Here's the thing.
Well, I'll tell you how, but go on.
Nope. If they're getting away, it's because they're not trying to catch them. Mm-hmm. Because if they wanted to catch them, they would be caught.
Right. I was just going to say that. You think about a lot of police. I'm not even going to say police, but let's say the federal authorities. What real motivation do they have to catch anyone?
Right.
They don't. Now you take a guy, put him on a reality show, offer him $250,000. You're going to see a guy going. He's going to be going after the.
Right. Well, it's like you said. Whenever a law enforcement officer is killed, it's like they find that guy.
Of course they do.
If you or I get killed, maybe they'll get the guy. Maybe not so much.
Cold case.
Right. So this is what they have. They can get into the people. They can get into their house, right? They go into their house and they look into their house. They go and they look at social media, whatever social media that they have, their cell phone records, their debit cards. Well, they give them debit cards, and any video cameras in an area where, and then also on the highways, they have these cameras and stuff like this that are constantly scanning license plates. Mm-hmm. So if they have a license plate, they can tell where that car is going and which way it's going.
I don't know if it mentions it in the article, but I'm sure facial recognition has come into
Facial recognition is also part of it.
As I mentioned in a previous podcast, Joe and I have a cousin who lives on Facebook, and I posted a picture of her when she was like 8, and Facebook went and gave me the prompt, do you want to tag so-and-so?
Yeah.
She was 8 years old.
8 years old and recognized
but they knew
her.
It was her.
Because
she is now like 49.
It's amazing.
Okay, so it's like she didn't change much, obviously, over that period of time, but the facial recognition is obviously out there.
Well, see, I never had a beard or a mustache or anything, so you can go all the way back to second grade for me, and it'll tell you.
Yeah. Well, I think they do. Even if you had a beard or mustache, I don't think it really screws it up, to be quite honest with you, because they go by your
Unless
eyes.
you have one of those like Smith Brothers beards, like on the cough
even
drop
there.
box.
But I think they go by your eyes and stuff like that. So the first show, they had like 3 couples on the run. The one couple was the guy. They lived in Charleston, South Carolina. The guy was a former college basketball star. He's 6'8". Mm-hmm. He's got a girlfriend that was a former Miss South Carolina. She's 5'11". I mean, she's a tall, beautiful drink of water. Hmm. So these two, they're on the run. So they go. First thing they do is they get dropped off at a bus stop. They use the ATM at the bus stop
with the camera
to buy bus tickets, and they put wigs on. Like, there's a 6'8" guy and a 5'11" chick, right? And so they go up.
You see that every day,
Yeah. So the guy goes, "Did you see this guy's like 6'8" and had a tall woman with him?" The bus ticket guy goes, "Yeah, they went to Atlanta." "Okay. What time did they leave?" "About 2:00. "Okay." They found the bus, whatever it was. They were waiting for him at the Atlanta bus stop. I mean, the guy goes, "Okay, we're going to get off the bus. We're going to run." That took about 2 seconds for him to catch him.
Yeah.
I mean, how stupid can you be?
Especially if you're a hot chick. On that show, a hot chick wouldn't last long because everybody knows where a hot chick is.
Right. So now there's 2 episodes out. So the second episode, this other guy, he's a paintballer. All right. So he sells paintball supplies and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So it's him and his wife. And I think they were down, I forget where they were. So they're on the run. So he goes out in the trail. He's a survivalist. They got tents. They're all set up to go. They're paddling. They're out paddling. They got a canoe. They're paddling down creeks. They go to a friend's house. Exactly. They're out there looking for, all of a sudden, the people go on the Facebook profile and they get like a friend of a friend of a friend. They show up. The people are like, they're never going to catch us here. Next thing you know. They make a run for it. They make a run for it out the back. If they would have stayed there, they would have been fine. They would have never got caught because the people couldn't have got in there.
Right.
They would have been fine. They make a run out the back. The people, the chasers are driving out of there trying to figure out how they're going to come back around or whatever because they know they see all the, oh my God, someone's here. They're running back and forth. We'll be right there. You know. So they're going, all of a sudden they see the guy, they see him. They see him in the field hiding. They go running over. They catch the guy. They were on the run for like, I don't know, 18 days. Like they were almost there.
Right.
They had like 10 more
days to go.
They're sleeping, eating bugs.
Ugh.
There was just, and they almost made it. So what I'm trying to say is that if the police want to get you, they're going to get you.
It's a lot easier nowadays with all the eyes that they have and drones and cameras and.
So so now if you're on that show, where do you go? What do you do? I think out of all of us, you know who gets caught first?
You.
Exactly. I would get caught in 2 seconds. I have so much of a social media footprint. I mean, pictures of all, friends and all that kind of stuff.
I'll see that. All that Twitter shit, that'll bite you in the ass. That's why Deuce is an enigma.
They try to be.
So I think I would get caught first. I would say Deuce would get caught second, and Joe would get caught third. And the reason I say that is because we lovingly call Joe Low-Tech Joe. He doesn't really have...
he has a very strong Facebook presence.
Well, I do.
Yeah.
But look, let me look. First of all, yes, I work with high technology all day long.
Okay.
So when I come home, I don't want anything to fucking do
High
with it.
technology. I work with high technology all day long.
No, I'm talking about like thermocouples and that stuff I do, temperature detection stuff, or it's all cutting art stuff,
Joe is an engineer.
Okay.
engineering technician.
Right.
Okay. When I come home, I don't want anything to do with that shit. I have my computer and that's it. And also, like I said earlier, the reason I have DSL is because I refuse to pay Comcast another fucking cent. Those people they're creeps. And I don't have Fios in my neighborhood.
Okay.
So that pretty much narrows it down.
They're creeps too. Fios is they're creeps.
Well, you know what it is. That's all we got.
Thing.
Yeah, it's a pick your exactly. It's either one or the other, and they're both out to fuck you.
Right. But see, for me, I need this. I need the technology.
This is your job. This is your
I
livelihood.
need you.
Yeah.
I need the technology. So this is what
For
I
you,
do.
it's a necessary evil.
Right. But, I would go. So, all right, let's go with Deuce first. Where would you go? Like if I said they're on the run, what would you do first? Where would you go?
Well, see, I'm kind of at a disadvantage because I don't know the lay of the land down there. But let's say it was up here.
Yeah, up here.
I'd hit the Pine Barrens.
Okay.
Big time.
Let's say you could do half of Pennsylvania, New Jersey up to New York and Delaware.
Oh, that's easy, man. You hit the Endless Mountains. Up in that's the area between Tioga and the Poconos. You hit those endless mountains there, just hang out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But see, the thing is, would they be able to, like the first place I would head would be Tioga, up there, north of Wellsboro.
Well, you got, that's Tioga County. Then you got Lycoming County, Potter County. They're wide open, man. There's dead spots up there. Like nobody gets cell phone service there.
Right. But the problem is that you stick out like a sore thumb because everybody knows everybody up there.
Yeah.
So if you're a
I
stranger,
was just going to say that.
Yeah, well, you just hang out in the woods.
it's like when we went.
Yeah, but see, what I got going for me is the pasty white guy thing.
Right.
It's not like I'm an olive skinned Italian. I'll stand there like a sore thumb.
No, I
Because
understand.
as we all know, the sun is my enemy.
That is true. But that's where I was thinking. I was thinking about heading up to Wellsboro in that area.
I think you guys both got it wrong.
Okay, go ahead.
See,
Where
I'm
would you go?
more of a hide in plain sight kind of guy.
All right.
Because it seems to me, whenever they catch some of these fugitives, they're right there. Like they didn't go far, and they're going for a long.
They just hunker down.
What I would do, I'd go to a major city
Mhm.
and just pose as a homeless person, because nobody looks at a homeless person. Just
Look
sit
at
on the
you.
street. You're
That's
getting
brilliant.
fed.
Yeah.
You're getting fed. You're pandering for food or feeding you. All you have to do is last 28 days. I think it's possible.
Dude, that is brilliant.
Yeah.
That is freaking brilliant. You just go.
Well, it works at work where I'm at because people that don't want to work hide in plain sight.
There
The
you
ones
go.
that hide in like
You
the
just
break
sit-
rooms and shit, that's the first place that the managers go. You should be in the fucking lobby. Just like, yep, here I am.
Just sit underneath a highway
Looks like I'm
overpass
working.
with a sign saying, and
Yeah. Get yourself all
work for
dirtied
food
up.
or whatever, and then people throw shit at you, whatever, but just last for 28 days if you can.
That's brilliant. I like that. I like that out of everybody. Everybody else is they're running around here. You wouldn't even need money. You wouldn't even need to use that money.
No. Because why would you want to? That's how they're going to get you. You know,
Right.
using cards, you get off the grid.
Yeah, they're
man.
going to probably hang out at the food.
See, I told you
places.
he'd be the one. I would get nabbed immediately.
Yeah.
I would get.
Well,
nabbed.
first of all, you'd have a little bit of difficulty posing as a homeless man who didn't eat.
That ain't a lie. That ain't.
I can
I'll tell you
pass as
what.
a homeless guy because look at me.
You know what I would be? I would be the king of the homeless people. I'll tell you what. Let's go find out how that guy does, because that guy must be eating some. That guy's eating good.
Yeah.
Plus, like Humphrey Bogart, you know, I must have a face that everybody wants to punch, you know? Because I just people look.
we said that to a guy at work. I said, "Dude, you have such a punchable face." He got offended. Oh, I have a punchable face.
a punchable face.
I've never met somebody where I said, "But I just like to go over there and punch that guy." I don't think I've ever met somebody.
The same guy. He was
One guy.
Well, I say that
the same guy that has the punchable face.
Yeah.
He got all upset at me because we were sitting once again in the break room, and we're sitting in there, and he says to one of my buddies, "Well, how old are you?" And the guy says, "Well, I'm 26." And he goes, "Yeah, that's what I figured you were, because I'm only a couple of years older than you. I'm 29. I was like, 29? What, were you loading trucks your whole life? You look a lot older than that." And he got all kinds of offended.
Dude, you're 10 miles. You're 10 miles of torn up
Oh,
road.
man, talk about having a hard paper route, man. It was tough. He did not look 29 in the least.
All right. So now this next story, I don't think we're going to get. I don't think we're going to get much. I don't think we're going to get much input from Deuce, because Deuce is happily married. But there's two single guys here, and one of the guys has never been married, which is Joe.
That would be me.
Right. The new Sexbots are ready.
Oh, okay. You're on that story.
Yeah. Men will be able to meet their witty android lover for the first time April 15th, 2017. The Sexbot takes artificial intelligence to a whole new level. She is unpredictable and charming, and has the ability to surprise her masters.
Supplies.
Supplies!
Confetti.
Oh, Mr. Eddie's father.
Oh, now it's Mrs. Livingston?
Mrs. Livingston.
Wow.
I don't know if it was mine. You know how I like those Asians.
Oh. Okay. So for 60s television, I'm thinking Mary Ann, Honey West. John's thinking
Here's right
Mrs.
for
Livingston.
Mrs. Livingston.
Hiding in plain sight. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there you go. Well, the advantage to that is you don't have a big pool of men that you have to fight off,
That's right. Cyborg developer of Realbotics, Matt McMillan, who revealed sex robots are going to be mind-blowing in bed, and given Daily Star Online an exclusive sneak peek into the mind of the sex robot app, set to titillate fellas around the world. Emotional connections are the foundations of relationships, and that's what we're simulating. It's emotions which add the X factor to sex. I think two people can meet in a bar, have sex the same night, and not remember each other's names and say, well, that was fun. But it's a different sex than when you actually get to know someone and you bond with them intellectually and emotionally. Let me just tell you something right now.
Yeah.
I don't know who this guy's. I don't know what kind of whitewash this guy's trying to sell.
It's all about marketing.
Yeah, it's all about.
It's all about bullshit marketing.
Guy goes to the bar, picks up a chick. They have sex the same night. They don't remember each other's name. And oh, well, that was fun. Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. And I'll tell you what, if they ever get this technology really down, the whole man-woman dynamic, the human race is over.
Pretty much.
We don't need them. We don't need women anymore. And hey, listen, women don't need men.
I still like them.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I could.
What? Okay, this is what you. So say this again now.
I don't think I could give up a real woman. I really, it would have to, okay, it's saying, okay, they're describing as a mind-blowing in bed.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but you don't have a girlfriend. Do you have a girlfriend right now?
No.
Okay, all right.
Who cleans this thing? What do you do? Run it through the car
said
wash?
like
That's your problem. That's your deal breaker. Who's got to clean it? Listen, it's a robot. It can clean itself.
I don't know, man.
It has itself.
I have
A self-cleaning.
a $50,000 car. It doesn't clean itself.
Okay, well, this thing can clean it. Let's go with the premise that this thing can clean itself.
Okay, that's
All
a pretty
right.
far premise.
What is it? It gets in the shower. It can jump up and down on you. It can
wouldn't
blow
show
your
up.
mind.
It would.
It can blow your mind. It can blow your mind sexually, but it can't clean itself off. What are you kidding
Not in
me?
the shower. It's not
Why not?
because it's going to short circuit.
Not in those
electrocute
parts.
you.
Not in those parts. Listen, I'm telling you, if that's your biggest hang up, there is no hang up.
Nah, that is.
She'd have to be very human-like before,
I
would have to be fooled.
They have to, like that dude.
Now I know where we're going with this now.
No. All right, anyhow, so what I'm saying is, all right, so okay, so I'm saying you can have normal women. It's not like you're gonna. It's not like you're exclusive with the blow up or with the cyber sex.
Wait a minute. I have to interject here.
Go ahead.
How big is this robot?
It's the size of a woman.
Okay. How much does this thing weigh?
What difference does it make?
Makes a lot of if
Let's-
you're
okay,
like it
so
on
a lot
top,
of
if she's on the
goddamn-
bottom, or
let's go. Okay,
it
let's
takes
go.
a lot of goddamn space.
Let's go with it's it's the size and the weight of a real woman.
it's like the one from the Jetsons, the freaking
Oh, like Rosie?
No, it's not like Rosie. You silly-
Meet Fred Flintstone. Oh, wait a minute. That's the wrong one. Yeah.
right. What are you kidding me? It's not like Rosie it's not like Rosie the robot where you're trying to bang and it's
There's just so many logistics involved in here. I think it's a little creepy myself.
all right. So that's your game face.
Okay.
No, I think it's creepy. There is no game face. It's creepy.
What's the difference?
It's creepy.
Why is it creepy? It's just like anything else.
No, it's not like anything else. It's creepy.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'd
To
like
me, it sounds like loser. It's like if you got to bang a robot, then you
To
are
me,
the ultimate.
in principle, it's no different than
You are
an
the
inflatable
ultimate
love doll.
You
It's
are
the
the
same
ultimate
thing, really.
loser. Exactly.
I'm telling you, these things are going to come around. It's going to be like, first of all,
No, they're not.
All right,
Who's
so-
gonna? No.
okay. So let me back the truck up a little bit.
Okay.
There's
The Federation, man.
there's a show on AMC.
Oh yeah.
It's called Humans, and it had one season, and they were going to cancel, but they're actually bringing it back. It is the most amazing show, just from the premise of what's going on here. So basically, what they have is you have these robots, and they're basically they are human companions. All right,
It's
so
like Westworld
Or
Okay,
Stepford Wives.
I haven't seen Westworld.
or
but okay,
AI.
Stepford
Okay,
Wives.
so basically what happens is this thing can come in, it can clean the house, it can cook for you, it can do all this other stuff, but it also has a sexual component. It knows
No.
what you like.
Nah.
Well, you say that.
Yeah, I say that because
But-
nah.
Well, you're married.
No, even if I wasn't married, I said nah. It's just.
I mean,
creepy.
those of us who went through divorces.
Yeah. How
Right,
is it?
okay, that adds.
Wait a
whole-
minute, wait a
okay,
minute.
that does add a dynamic to this situation.
To me,
I
that's
think.
like the same as banging the blender. Why would you do that?
Well, first of all, there's no way is that the same as banging a blender.
It's a mechanical device.
It's not the same thing as a mechanical device. Okay. What I'm saying is that as when you're younger and stuff like that, you want that whole human companionship kind of thing and all. But as you get older, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I kind of like being,
I like
being the captain of my own ship. And
I like my solitude.
Yeah.
I do. I like being alone. Not Tom Hanks talking to a volleyball alone,
Right.
but just kind of like I do like coming home from work. You sit down. No, we have to get this. None of that shit. You
Right.
just come home, you work it. I do like that. That's a very good. I've lived my whole adult life like that, so I don't know anything else.
Right.
Marriage would be a big adjustment for me.
You would never
So-
last.
yeah,
yeah.
no, you wouldn't.
I would not after this long. No.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Because what happens is they're always trying to change you. They always want you to do something. There's always something going on.
Mhm.
They don't understand it. So, like I'm saying, as a divorce guy, so let me get this straight. She'll cook, clean, and she'll blow my mind sexually. Where do I sign?
You are.
How do I get to my money?
As I said before, you are very susceptible to marketing.
Yes.
I wish every store owner that I had to cold call had you as an owner, because I'd be retired right now.
I'll tell you what.
I can talk you into
Ask
anything.
me in 10 years what I would feel about that. Because not,
10
now,
years you wouldn't.
now I still go out.
In 10 years, I would just want one that would wipe my ass. Right?
I don't know. Some things should still be a mystery, John. I don't know if I want to go with that.
Hey, Rosie, I can't really get to that back section over there.
Beep.
Yeah. In 10 years, I don't think I'll be worried about having sex with a robot or anything like that. But I'm just saying, though, I can see where this is going to be.
No, I just think it's some. No.
Well, see, I'm a visual guy anyway. So for me,
They got one that looks like the girl from the what's that stupid movie? The Scarlett Johansson.
That's not a stupid movie. That's a great movie if you're talking about the Avengers.
The Avengers.
That's an excellent movie.
Oh, I saw the Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, but that guy.
It looks cool until it starts talking, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah,
why does it have to talk?
That'll
really
ruin
it.
it. That guy spent $50,000 out of his own pocket to build that robot to look like her.
I don't understand why it has to talk. Why would you ruin it and put a voice in it?
Well, you got to talk to it.
Why do you have to talk to it?
So you might as well bang the blender.
You can talk to it. It doesn't have to talk back.
Well, bang the blender then.
Well, you can call it. You want mute, don't you?
I don't see that as a downside, to be quite honest with you.
Okay.
Where's the downside of that?
I don't know, but
I'm not feeling the magic there.
I don't know. I guess I'd have to. Have to sample one. You know?
There you go.
Yeah.
Take it out for a 30-day test drive.
I guess. Yeah. You know what? It's
30
funny
days.
because well,
Wow.
if after 30 days you're not satisfied,
You're not complete. What's like a Casper mattress?
If you're not completely
It's
satisfied.
like a Casper mattress. You get 100 nights to sleep on it.
You get 100 nights to
to
sleep with it, and if it doesn't work out for you,
it's the Billy Mays. But wait, there's more.
oh, there's always more.
Yeah. But wait.
So you don't think that would be?
Nah, that's not my cup of tea.
He'd have one.
We talked about it before. I don't get the whole eHarmonyMatch.com thing.
Well, I was on Match.com.
I don't see why you don't. What part of that don't you get?
Yeah, because
they're all there. It's a smorgasbord. It's where, if you were going to go fishing, would you go somewhere where there's like 4 fish, maybe somewhere in a lake, or would you go somewhere where there's multiple targets, multiple fish?
I don't know. To me, it just seems like it's people that are like socially awkward.
It doesn't have to be. It's
No,
like
I
people
think-
that are trying to find that haven't. It's like the lady that showed Joe her boobs. All right, maybe she doesn't. She works with a bunch of guys. Most of them are slobs. Okay, she doesn't know anybody.
When I was single, I never had a problem meeting people. Period. I would just go anywhere and I would just chat them up, and get the phone number.
Okay, when were you single?
Yeah,
how many years?
Well,
ago,
that was
right?
a quarter of a century ago.
When you're 50, it's a little bit different, especially when you're 50 living alone. And if you go out alone, you don't get like, "Hey, how are you?" You know, this guy is by himself.
Yeah, what's going on with this guy?
Yeah, right. You get a little more of that.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That's what. But I mean, like, I like, you know,
you don't get any overtures when you just go about in public.
What was the longest? What was the
but-
longest stretch that you didn't have a steady girlfriend?
Well, from the age 0 to
No.
to 15.
Don't
I
be.
guess
You know what I'm talking
there's
about.
15 years there.
After the first one, what was the longest stretch?
I went a couple of years.
Couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, I went on well without a steady girlfriend or without going out on a date. What are you referring to?
Steady girlfriend.
Well, a couple of years without a steady girlfriend, but I went on dates in that interim.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's the
I
same
never
thing.
had any problem chatting them up and getting a phone number off of them.
Oh well, look at Don Juan over here.
Yeah, well, what the fuck? I'm a charmer.
Okay.
Well, to me, see, that's the point I was trying to make. Is like
Yeah, and listen-
Match.com, the internet is no different than a bar. Really
Exactly.
isn't. It's just like you're not there. That's all.
You get to check
It
them
just
out.
seems to me it's like all just lazy people. I don't know.
I don't understand the laziness part of this conversation.
Yeah, it's like I'm too lazy to go out there and do. the
where are they
legwork.
at? Where are they at?
They're
Do some-
everywhere. They're
Where
in
are they not everywhere?
supermarkets. They're in stores. They're
Supermarkets.
in I mean,
You're walking around. You're
shit,
walking
dude.
around.
I go buy lunch all the time, and there's always somebody in there that chats me up. So it's just like, what can I say?
No.
I don't know. You must have that friendly, chat-upable face.
Well, I can
guess
chat
I
it up
do.
too, but it's a different story when you. So, what are you doing tonight?
Yeah.
Then the dynamic changes. All of a sudden, it's a
That
little
music
different.
starts.
Yeah. Well, no. It's you know. Look, one time, okay, I went to the doctor's office. Just putting this. you go to the doctor. There's a cute woman behind a desk. She looks like she's close to my age and everything.
Okay.
And
But she's really 80.
Check the finger. There's no ring. Go ahead.
Yeah, right.
right.
Exactly.
Did all the legwork.
She's like real polite and everything. We're talking and everything.
Doing your due
And
diligence.
Seems like she's like, she's like asking me questions. I ask her questions. And then maybe one drifts a little bit. Oh, yeah, we really like that. And then all of a sudden, it's like the expression changes. Like, oh, wait. It's almost like a, oh, wait a minute. Now this is getting too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All of a sudden, it's like Donald Trump. The wall gets built.
Yeah.
Up goes the wall. So
shields up.
Exactly. But
okay,
here,
I'm just asking you a question. You don't have to be like,
yeah. So what does your boyfriend? You're talking about. So what does your boyfriend think about that? Oh, does your boyfriend like that? Oh, I don't have a boyfriend. No, it's the other one.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's no boyfriend, then
I don't know.
You turn right into Ultraman.
Right.
Oh boy.
So
no, I don't know. I just don't get the whole dating online thing. I just don't get it.
And then here's the other thing.
I guess you know what it is. The difference is in the line of work that I like people and I like to be around people.
Okay.
Where Joe is right where he needs to be because Joe will actually admit this. He hates people.
He's an introvert.
Well, no, he's not an
introvert.
He's not an introvert at all. He just hates people.
Well, see,
he hates people's bullshit. Is what it is.
I don't like to put up with it. Well,
Joe has. My mom always said I had a long fuse. Joe had a short fuse, and Michael is a flashpoint.
He has no fuse.
Michael just erupts, and that's it. You're going to get your ass kicked when Michael blows the fuck up. So, but I like people. I like to talk.
There's Mike.
That's Michael. Exactly.
Michael, yeah.
That's Michael in a nutshell.
Mike was like Yosemite Sam when he was a baby. You couldn't. Hey, Mike, you little fag. He just immediately goes off there.
So, I mean, I never had a problem interacting with people. So maybe that's where I'm taking it from. Maybe some people are more introverted with me. And so maybe online dating helps those people, I guess.
Well, they're saying it might open up this whole new sexual thing called robophilia, where people only want to be with robots.
I see that happening.
And the next thing you know,
because I'll tell you what,
they're socially awkward people.
There's women that have had so much sex with vibrators they can't have sex anymore with men because the vibrator does something to them. It desensitizes them. They can't.
And nobody's got time for that. Nobody can match nobody can match something that has batteries and can move like that.
About that, I know not, but
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So the next thing you know, then after this, then they'll be in a relationship with their robot. Next thing you know, they'll want to get married, and the Christians will blow their minds. They won't know what to do.
Yeah, well,
they're like, Jesus, we thought it was bad when the gays were getting married.
Well, not only that, guys will be getting drunk and fighting over other robots.
Well, no, you can't because the robot's connected to
Parked
you.
in your garage covered in sperm because no one's washing it out.
It's self-cleaning, I said.
Well, I mean, no, you got
to like strap it to the roof of your minivan and run it through the car wash.
No,
all those brushes are beating the shit out of it.
I mean, by that, okay, you're driving around in a Prius, but your buddy has a Corvette. What do you think? So I'm going to carjack the Corvette. It's going to be like you're going to have that shit going on. This guy stole my robot.
Oh, that's true. Listen, they broke into my house. What did they take? They took my Sexbot. Anything else? No. What are you so upset about? They took my Sexbot.
Yeah, right.
Then there's those awkward moments when you come home early from work and your robot is sleeping with the blender. It's just like...
It won't do that. It's programmed not to do that. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, here we go. If you guys want to check it out, there's a website. It'll be in the show notes. It's realbotix, BOTIX.com. Check it out there. All right, guys, you ready to pour it out? 2017.
Worst year ever.
Mary Tyler Moore.
80 years old.
80 years old. She left us. There's some things about Mary Tyler Moore that I was shocked about. I didn't really know this.
What, that she had the diabetes?
She had the diabetes.
You know what? Not for nothing, but to make it to 80 years old with the diabetes. That's saying, I mean, of course she was rich and she had resources, but still.
Right.
That's a pretty good stretch. Yeah,
she had like a heart attack-like cardiopulmonary arrest, which means the heart simply just stopped beating. So basically, she died of natural causes.
Right.
She had pneumonia,
Well, that's
And-
what probably did it.
And it was
As
probably
opposed
from
to an
diet.
ammonia.
Ammonia, as
they
John
didn't
likes
have-
to say.
She had the ammonia.
She had the ammonia.
The ammonia killed her.
Ammonia.
That's right. I'll tell you, that ammonia will knock you on your ass.
That's right.
Take it from me.
Yeah, she was diagnosed when she was 33. In 2011, she had surgery to remove a brain tumor, benign brain tumor. In 2014, friends reported that she had was having heart and kidney problems and was nearly blind. I'll tell you one thing. Now, what do you think of her? On a scale of 1 to 10, the back in the day Mary Tyler Moore.
I thought she was hot. I think she was I'd say she was a 9.
Okay. I'm not, I'm right there with you. She was she had a problem with alcoholism. It was on both sides of her family. Her mother and father battled alcoholism. She battled alcoholism.
Party girl.
Yeah. She married a guy, her last marriage of 33 years. She married a guy who was 15 years younger than her.
Oh, cougar.
Yeah.
Wow.
In 1984, her son, Richard, died of an accidental gunshot wound
I
to the
remember
head.
that story.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
While handling a sawed-off shotgun. I don't know why he had a sawed-off shotgun,
Maybe he needed one.
but the model was taken off the market because of its hair trigger. So
Is that a pun?
I guess.
Okay.
But to me, is just because it's been all over the news with Mary Tyler Moore. She was all friends with Betty White. Betty White outlived her. Ed Asner,
Yeah.
Lou Grant, he outlived her.
Yeah. Well, Captain Steuben, who is Murray on
Right.
the Mary Tyler, he's still alive.
I thought he died.
No, he's still alive, isn't he? I know
I
Ted
don't
Knight
know.
died quite a long time
Yeah,
ago.
Ted Knight. I thought
Who was also in Caddyshack, funniest movie ever.
right. What was the other thing I was just going to say? Oh my God, my stupid
Valerie Harper's still alive.
Right.
Cloris Leachman,
But I tell
who
you
was
what,
Phyllis.
you know what's really weird about her? As I looked at the
Van
older
Dyke
picture.
still alive? Is he around still?
Oh yeah,
Who?
he's still
Okay,
alive.
yeah,
Dick
okay.
Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke. I
Yeah.
was just wondering.
Yeah, because they had him on the news.
Dick
trotted
Van
him out.
Lesbian. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to be in his 90s.
Dick
right?
Van Lesbian. I don't get that.
Dyke.
Oh. I'm 55 years old. I just got that.
Just had a brain.
just actually, yeah.
Oh, I think the LGBT crowd's going to be,
Lig bits.
right there.
They're adding more letters as we
They're gonna-
speak.
yeah,
The
they're
link
gonna-
bits.
The alphabet soup community.
Yeah, but I used to watch that show, the Mary Tyler. It was a great show. It was funny as hell, and every cast member. It was like Cheers.
Okay.
Every single actor that was in that show was a gem, and they made that.
Except
same
for
show.
Ted Baxter's girlfriend. She was a little on the dopey side. Never saw her watching anything else.
She wound up being Ray Romano's mother-in-law, or actually his brother Bob's mother-in-law,
Right.
in Everybody Loves Raymond.
But she still had that same, she was the same character.
Yeah,
She's the same
it
person.
was that dry, really,
Yeah.
like simplistic.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. She had a place. I mean, you say that, but it's just like everybody has a.
She was the Jennifer Aniston of the 60s. Jennifer Aniston's the same in every movie.
Well, that show was on in the 70s, so I don't know what
Whatever.
you're talking about. But I mean, because it was the Mary Tyler Moore show, and then the Carol Burnett show was on. So that's when I was a kid.
Right.
That's what I would watch on Saturday nights.
You know what's really weird? And I guess, as you get older, it was like Mary Tyler's head was shrinking, but her teeth were getting bigger.
Or
Like
the chiclets.
She had at the end, she had huge teeth, but her head was like really, really small. And then if you look at pictures of her,
Well, a lot of that could have been plastic surgery.
what, they shrunk her head?
Well,
Made her
they
choppers
made her
bigger?
Well, no, they pulled the skin so.
Guy should have his license pulled.
No, they pulled their skin so tight around the face that you have.
It
no,
shrinks the head?
No, think about it. They're pulling the skin so tight. That
Yeah, I guess.
Next thing you
Yeah.
know, you look like the Joker.
You get the Joker face.
Yeah, so it's just like
She did have a little bit of the
Danny
Joker face.
Thomas, that bitch Marlo Thomas's father. His eyebrows were so far up. My grandfather said, "Yeah, he walks around looking surprised all the time."
Yeah.
Because his eyebrows are like an inch away from his hairline. Well, I think that might have been the plastic surgery.
Okay. But if you look at her, her head's like, it's like she looks like a golf tee. Like
And
she had a
that-
thin body, the little tiny head, and the big giant
Did you ever
choppers.
see that? The ironic thing, she had diabetes.
Right.
Diabetes, as Wilford Brimley would say.
Right, the diabetes.
And she used to do a sugar commercial. She was like in the ballerina costume and like, you have to go way back.
I was going to say, okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's another reason. Yeah, it's just like it's.
I remember she was dressed up as a devil, and she did the Underwood Devil Ham commercials.
Yeah.
She did that
I don't
too.
remember any of
Yeah.
that.
Oh, this is when she was young. I mean, it was
Yeah.
back in the early 60s.
Yeah, before the Dick Van Dyke Show came out, she got a steady paycheck.
All right. And we have any other celebrities to pour one out to?
Well, William Hurt, who died, he was the guy that the alien burst out of his chest in Aliens.
See, nobody knows
Sir
him.
William.
but
Sir
they-
John Hurt. Now,
Sir-
William
Sir
Hurt.
John Hurt. Yeah, John Hurt. I said William Hurt. Yeah,
William
John
Hurt's
Hurt.
probably getting a little pissed off.
Right now, hey, they got me dead. Like Gabe Vigoda, they were killing that poor bastard for 15 years.
I'm not dead. When he said that on Conan O'Brien, his
He had
voice,
that.
I'm
he had
not
that,
dead.
They had that
to come out.
website. I'm not dead yet.
But he did die.
Well, he
He
just
did
died
die,
about
yeah.
a year ago.
They
about
had
a
an
year and a half
application
ago.
for your computer that would boot up, with Windows, and
Right.
it was like a little app, like how like you get the weather and temperature.
Yeah.
It was like that. It would just tell you if he was alive. Now, of course, it tells you he's dead.
Everybody's deleting the app off.
So, I don't need
but if
this
you-
anymore.
But
Get
if
up
you
in the
saw,
morning,
if
they're
you
drinking
saw,
they're drinking their coffee. Hey, how about that? Abe's still alive.
if you saw a picture of William Hurt, he died at 77, but he looked like he was like 107.
Yeah.
And you could tell he was a hard drinking, boozing, smoking,
Oh, he's a heavy
heroin addict. I don't know what he was doing, man, because I see some pretty good looking, like older people out there, and he was not one of them. So, but yeah, he just died. So, so that's two you got to pour it out for.
Yeah. All right. Here's the next question. A friend of mine was talking to me, and his friend was unfortunately killed
Oh.
in an accident. All right. So he's talking to me, and he's telling me about
Now, is this talking to you in a loose interpretive sense, like on Twitter, or is this like in real?
it was in real life.
Okay.
So he's talking to me in real life, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening. He's like, yeah, I heard his wife is still, she's still 60 days, 2 months, and she's not been able to go back to work yet. I'm thinking to myself, the hell's he talking about? So he's like, yeah, and she's really upset, and she's and here I think he's laying the groundwork to make a move on the widow.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
wow.
pretty creepy.
You think?
Yeah.
I mean, how long is it before you make that move?
They used to be a year. I mean, as the widow or widower,
Well, I
you were
think it depends
supposed to be in
also.
mourning for like a year.
A year?
Yeah.
Okay. And could you do it if it was a good friend?
No, I couldn't.
I couldn't do it. No.
No.
This guy must have been holding the torch for her or something.
Yeah, that's lower than Will.
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Sounds like he sounds like he's had
Now,
these
is
thoughts.
this person really you in
No.
disguise?
This friend of yours,
Friend.
I
air
knew that-
quotes.
I knew that was gonna come up, but no. And I'm trying to keep it as
Discreet as possible.
discreet as possible, because I mean he has an in. He knows her.
Mm-hmm.
He can talk. Oh, how you doing? And all,
Yeah, he knows her pain.
he can gain her trust. He can gain access. He's in there before anybody else.
So he's like a Sith Lord.
There's no cock blocking going on.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no opposition.
No
Okay, that's
opposition.
good. We were talking extensively about cock blocking.
Right. Earlier in the
In
pre-show.
the pre-show.
Right. But see, here's the other part about it. He knows the family of the.
Yeah, see, that's
So
a
it's
lot
like-
of goddamn pressure.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that's I would just like.
Don't get me wrong. A woman's a very attractive woman.
Yeah. Be that as it may.
Right.
You
A
know,
very nice person.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
persons out there.
I don't know.
He's probably, you know what? He's probably thinking he better get on this now.
Right.
He's just
Yeah,
looking.
he's gonna
Unsling
beat
that.
Oh, hey, release the cracking.
Yeah,
cracking.
release the crack, and that's it.
Now, okay. I would think that he's worried about the crowd rushing in, and he wants to,
That's right. He wants to
be
plant
the
his
first guy in
flag.
line. Yeah, he wants to get on there before anybody else does.
And this is why guys are scumbags.
Well, back in, I would say the early to mid 80s, I used to travel with a race car, a sprint car. And there was a guy who was killed. He was killed at the track. And he had I'm talking a smoking hot wife. And, he had 2 young kids. It was a horrible, the whole thing was horrible. Well, maybe 3 months, 4 months, she was dating another driver.
Actually, I was waiting for some sizzling or something. You said smoking hot.
No, she was, dude, when I'm telling you, she was exactly. She was a
Here you go.
she was a Jersey 10, a Vegas 9.
Really?
I mean, that's
Wow.
breathtakingly hot. And,
Yeah.
and as hot as she was super, super nice.
Right.
It was just like the whole package.
Well, I'm an exceedingly shallow male, so she would have had me at hot.
Yeah, right. The other was just like icing on the cake. So, like, I mean, uncomfortably short amount of time, she was dating this other driver. And, you know.
It's almost like she murdered her husband to be with this guy.
Let me cut these brake lines. Now, so anyhow, he
So this fictitious friend of yours.
so I said to the driver that I knew, I was like, dude, how'd you make that happen? He's like, hey, you know, I was always attracted to her. You know, I was going to just make it known that I was interested in her if she was ever, you know, whenever she was ready or she wanted to, talk to somebody or whatever, I'm here. Well, she got ready pretty damn quick, I might say.
So how does one make that? I'm going to make it known.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I am attracted to this woman.
Maybe that's
Just
what the world
60 days ago, her husband died in a fiery car crash.
Who needs a robot?
Yeah.
Oh, he needs some John Philip Sousa music and a ringleader hat,
Yeah, right.
the top hat.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know.
Spotlight.
Yeah, it's a little weird, man. I don't know. I guess I'm too. I guess I worry about.
I
what
couldn't do
people,
it.
I guess I worry what people
Yeah.
would think about me. Like if, God forbid,
Right.
I
Yeah.
became suddenly single
that goes
way,
away.
and like 2 months later, like I'm out there on the scene again. You know, it's like
See, I will say this in his defense that you're probably not aware of, because I never got married. You don't worry about what people think of you very quickly. You start because doing all that dignity shit means you just lose out.
yeah, but you got kids.
Right.
Who
Well,
does?
okay. Well, yeah,
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
but he
have
doesn't.
kids.
Yeah, but he
No,
doesn't.
but that's
He
what I'm
does.
saying.
Yeah,
For
he does.
me,
Right. Exactly.
for me, I mean, it's just like now people are going to be like, their tongues will be wagging. It's just like, you should like wait. I don't know. I know.
Yeah, they're all talking about you. Meanwhile, you've got this smoking hot woman.
Got to have a little integrity. Now, obviously, you don't. You're in a bag any robot or blender that comes down the pike. So it's like,
Well, it's not about being.
oh,
a
what's
pig.
this?
It's just like you got.
Corningware?
Yeah, it's not. It's no different than when you were like 19. You got to get on it. Quick.
Jesus Christ, John's out there hosing down his.
There's another water there for if you need it.
Okay, yeah, I'll get it in a minute.
But so anyhow, all right. What do you say we wrap it up? How about some shout outs?
What? No bionic man penis?
I was trying to I was actually going
How
to try
much
to
time we got?
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Wow.
All right, let's
that
do
was
it.
quick.
All right. It's basically a follow up from when we did the episode with Bad Cop, and we reported about the guy that had the bionic penis installed.
Yes.
And we had all like joked about it, and basically we were all like correct that the guy was going to wind up doing porno.
Well, and the guy was like a virgin when he got.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly, he was a virgin. Okay. What happened was it was some kind of accident. He had his penis ripped off at a young age.
In a McCormick Reaper or something.
Wow.
I don't know what it was.
Christ.
And they put a bionic penis on this guy.
Right.
And now
And he is from another land.
his
Says here
package is unique. It could be a $10,000 deal, $25,000 deal,
It says
or
he's
it could
from
be
Edinburgh.
$1 million deal with the right talent. But I mean, what's this guy look like? I mean, I've seen pictures of him. He's not anything special. Is there anything? Does anybody really care if he's got a bionic penis?
Well, that was
Do you
like-
think the
that was
lady's
like
going to be
John-
clamoring to that?
That was like, what's his name? John Wayne Bobbitt.
Yes.
I mean, he got his dick cacked off, and all of a sudden he gets it sewn back on. All these women want to have sex with him.
Really?
Yeah, he did
Yeah,
a
he ended
couple
up
of
doing porn
pornos
and everything.
after
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
After Howard Stern had him on
Well,
the
I'm sure, listen.
94 New Year's Eve special.
Okay, so what's going on here is, yes, they're paying hookers to bang John Wayne Bobbitt, but I mean,
No, there were women that were actually after him.
Really?
Because but yeah, they wanted to see it. They wanted to see if it worked, and I don't know. Hey, look, there's women out there. I just don't question it anymore. I don't know what their motive. Whatever. I don't know what they're thinking. Whatever. They just do what they do, and that's it. And
Well, this porn company started trying to stay cutting edge. This could be the next big thing.
Yeah, bionic penises.
Yeah. Mohammed has said Mohammed has not had sex since spending the night with specialist hooker Charlotte Rose, who waived her fee so he could lose his virginity to her. The shop worker revealed last year he can go for hours in the bedroom. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, he's got a bionic penis.
Right.
Yeah, but you still got to have that exhaustion thing, you know. Although you figure if he's a virgin, he's like good to go, man. He's got all that pent up energy. Like,
oh yeah, no kidding.
Oh yeah. It's just like they got to give her smelling salts, poppers.
Okay, you ready? Here we go.
Sponge her forehead down. You know, the whole whatever it takes.
Wipe.
Now, see, there's a guy who needs the sex robot.
Yeah, well, that's a perfect example, or that might come into play.
Yeah.
So
because he's like a cyborg. Actually, he's got a robotic penis.
Yeah, he's half a cyborg.
Yeah, he's a cyborg. He needs a robotic woman.
Right.
What do you mean? I am old man.
Oh, I'm ready to go.
He's lifting chairs with his penis. It's all bionic.
Let me tell you about my tobacco. Or he has a motel. You know what a motel is, right?
No.
You know what a motel is?
Of course not.
Yeah, well, Indians in this country, they either are in two business, tobacco stores, or they own a motel.
Motel.
They can't pronounce motel. They say motel. My cousin, he has a motel. You know, another one they like to say is, yesterday night, I was so busy. And to us, it's like, well, that's really kind of stupid. But if you think about it, I'll say, hey, John, yesterday morning, I was driving down the road, or yesterday afternoon.
Yesterday night.
They don't say last night. They say yesterday night.
Right.
You know, and this is my favorite. My cousin's brother. Well, wouldn't that be your cousin too?
Well, I guess that depends on whether or not the guy fell out of favor with the family. You know?
I don't know. They all say my cousin's brother. It's weird.
How about that?
My cousin's brother.
So my cousin's brother, and he was saying,
isn't that your brother, your cousin too?
That's your cousin. Isn't that your cousin? Oh,
is that how that work over
and then
here?
they look at you like with that look, you know, just like.
Okay. I don't know.
So anyway,
different strokes for different folks.
That's it.
There's an ass for every chair.
All right. Well, thank you for hanging out with us. And we'll be coming back next week. We're going to give some shout outs to podcasts, of course. 3 is Comedy. We talked about that in the pre-show, which is going to be
Toe
right
on the
after
Trigger.
This. Daniel was here earlier. Daniel Ripholtz. He was here for Toe on the Trigger podcast.
Shane and Kenny from Now That I'm Older.
That's right. Bold and Belligerent. I was
not the bold and beautiful, like
not
John.
the bold and beautiful, like I normally say.
Emily from the story behind.
Right. And of course, Dave and Jerry from Bad Cop, Bad Cop. Jerry's so upset with social media that he what did he do? He disabled his Facebook. He's out. He's done.
Was that what that was all about?
Yes.
I don't know what the hell is.
Don't you follow him on Facebook?
What happened on Facebook?
No, well, now I know who he is. I never knew what his last name was.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
What was it that incurred his wrath?
Well, apparently, I guess it's the Trump people. I didn't even try that with you two tonight because that was a losing battle. I would have never got a word in edgewise.
Yeah, you would have lost decisively.
Well, I don't know about that. But anyhow.
I don't put Trump on a pedestal just yet, but, you know. I like what he's doing.
Although it does show you what a lazy piece of shit Obama was and all the stuff he's done in 2 weeks.
Oh, I've never seen anybody mobilize the people to protest like he has. The guy farts. Everybody's got a sign.
Well, that's George Soros motivating the people.
I can't believe George can motivate that. If George can motivate that many people, he should be president.
Dude, you know what?
Money talks.
There's like a hyper. If Donald Trump tweeted today, I just ate a bag of potato chips.
Yeah.
Some friggin' hypersensitive. Oh my God, he's murdering potatoes. Now there'd be somebody out there that would have to get him for that.
No, but that's what happened with Jerry because you threw that out there on Twitter, and next thing I'm like, that's real nice.
He said the liberals. Again, I don't know. I wasn't trying to be offensive. I wasn't trying to assassinate your character. So what happened was he said that he was disabling his Facebook for a while. Mm-hmm. And I went and looked, and sure enough, he sure did. So then I went to Twitter, and I said, wow.
Twitter.
I can't believe that you actually did that. And he said, well, I thought it was going to be the liberals that drove me over the edge, but it was actually the pro-Trump faggots. And then, well, first of all, I said...
Here's where he tries to, edge himself out of, his
Well, I didn't mean you were a pro-Trump faggot. I'm just saying that, you're pro-Trump.
Like Deuce and Brand X.
Then I get
And I'm like sitting there losing my mind yesterday with all the bullshit going on in my life with running the empire and car accidents and bullshit. And I'm like, wow,
and all of a sudden,
this is just what I need.
John's assassinating my character on social media. I was like, I was giving to Jimmy the call. Listen, I don't think Deuce might not make it here tonight. He might be all pouty.
Oh, so you had a backup plan?
Of course, I got a backup plan. Well, am I going to stop because all of a sudden you got a hair up your ass? Of course not. Show must go on.
Rightfully so. I had a hair up my ass. But anyway.
So I put it out there. Jerry worded it strongly. I didn't say you were a Trump faggot. I just said you were a Trump, not supporter, but I don't know. Whatever. Defender.
No, I don't defend the guy.
It cracks me up. Is it?
He can still fuck it up big. I mean, you got to.
Here's my. As soon as the left starts complaining about Trump, the right goes, "Well, Obama did the same thing." I'm like, well, isn't he supposed to be better than Obama? Why are we doing this? Why is it okay?
Well, it's called pointing out that this was done before and not a word was said. And if you don't have the cognitive dissonance to recognize that, I don't know how to help you.
Well, what I'm saying is that I've heard you complain time after time about how Obama would circumvent the Congress by all these presidential orders. And the next thing you know, the guy's presidential ordering like they're pizzas.
Well, first off, there's two. This is what conflates and confuses the people. You among them, you and your people.
Yeah, my
left.
people.
Your people.
Your people.
That's what your people.
That's what he always says to me. Oh, you got your marching orders.
Your people. Your people.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
So John and his people,
they
don't know the difference between executive orders and executive actions. An executive order is an order that's signed by every president, every administration to deploy resources and people and logistics. That's how it's done. Okay, this is how we're going to do things. This is the person that's going to do that. An executive action is when you do an end run again around Congress.
So he's signing executive orders, not actions. I didn't.
Exactly.
Okay, so
that's why I'm here to help.
Well, I'm glad you're here to help me out. So
I don't care. Look, I don't care. I don't care what executive orders, actions a president takes, as long as they're within.
That's the problem
because
the executive actions that were taken. It was he couldn't get his way through Congress, so he just I got a pen and I got a phone, and this is what I'm gonna do.
Well, he's ruling.
We fought a revolution against the king for that, and that's
right.
exactly what that was about.
Well, again, my thing is that.
But see, if you go on the social media and I'll let you say something, but I just want to make this point: if you go on the social media, the public at large doesn't understand the difference between an executive action and an executive order.
Okay.
And they're just lumping them all under executive orders. Like, oh, Trump's signing this many executive orders. Well, yeah, because you got to run the government, you got to run the bureaucracy, you got to run the offices.
Yeah, I got to say, I understand what he's trying to do in theory with the whole vetting process.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that he tried to do it where, people, if you say, okay, well, in 30 days, we're going to do this, then the people, they move up their timeline, they get in under so I understand what he was trying to do. But when you break it all down into brass tacks, it really does look like he is.
I will say this. It was rolled out incorrectly.
Well, he fucked up with the green card thing. He kind of screwed that up.
No, he didn't do anything. There's a couple of precedents that I'm not going to get into. It could have been handled better. And listen, every administration takes a couple of months before they get their footing. Okay. He's been in office 10 days. Same thing with Obama. I always gave the guy slack until within a month, he said, whoa, this guy's out of control. But every administration, it takes about a good month to get their footing. They got new people in place. They're finding their way around. You got to deal with the press.
You think he's going to make it a full term?
Yes. I think so. This is much ado about nothing. It could have been handled better. It was rolled out in an amateurish fashion, and he should have really included a better. It just should have been a better way to do that. It should have been a better message.
I think instead of going to the networks, when he should have broadcasted right from the Oval Office.
Well, one of the guys that he had handled it was Rudy Giuliani, who I like, and he dropped the ball. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's interesting. And the fact is, all you have to do is go to CNN. CNN hates Trump.
Yeah, because he called them out on the carpet.
Hates Trump.
Yeah.
Oh, they got egg on their face.
If you read anything from CNN, they're after Trump. I mean,
What did you see my post
right
yesterday?
Yes, where you
The
said
environment's on fire. I just went,
everything.
oh my God, we're Hitler. It's like, yeah, they're like, it's hysterical.
it doesn't look good. It really doesn't look good. So let's see.
This is much ado about nothing. There is precedent for this. Obama did it. Jimmy Carter did it.
Obama did it.
Jimmy Carter did
Jimmy
it.
Carter did it.
A lot of presidents have done it.
Clinton did it.
Yeah. It's just like that's just the thing is because a lot of these people that are out there protesting, they don't know because they're too young to know.
They're just out there.
Well,
holding signs, man.
Well, George Soros is paying them to be out there. And I like when you get a lot of these news agencies that get these people and they ask them, well, what are you here for? They don't know. They just spout off platitudes. They have no idea why they're out there. Because they're not going to say, well, this guy gave me like $150 to be here today to hold this sign. They're not going to say that, but that's why they're there.
Well, I don't. Okay.
That's why the Occupy Wall Street people were there. They tried up.
Well, after a while, that just turned into a friggin' wild party. That was like Woodstock.
Yeah. Michael threw Michael threw one of those guys down the steps. Mike lives in Philadelphia. Yeah. When they were doing all that shit in Philadelphia, they tried to accost Michael. And Michael just introduced him to Mr. Concrete Stairs and just let him take a trip down there. And that's how you handle shit. So that's the Gentili way. They bleep that out.
Okay, I'll bleep it out. So anyhow, it'll be interesting. And did we forget any other podcasts? I hope we didn't forget any other podcasts.
Tone the Trigger, Three's Comedy, Bad Cop, Now That I'm Older, Horribly Awkward. And there's a couple others. There's one, I can't think of the name of it. They just follow us on Twitter, so I always want to give a listen. It's two guys, and they were doing an interview. And what they do is they do a shot of beer. And then they do a shot of beer every minute. The timer goes off, and they do a shot of beer. So it's four people, old rockers. Well, we tried to do that.
Yeah, well, I couldn't.
Thanks, John.
I wasn't allowed to. But wait a minute. If you want to know what that show would sound like, I will get the episode, and I will put the episode in the show notes. I wish I knew the name of that show. Give me 2 seconds. Let me see if I can get to the Twitter real quick.
The Twitter.
Well, you should just get us drunk one night and have a best of thing.
Oh, my God. I can't. I don't even.
Don over here.
Don won't come.
Yeah.
And I knew he wouldn't come.
Yeah, you know what it is with him? I can't speak for him, but I think
he's well adjusted. You don't need this shit.
Well, right. Well, not only that, I don't think he's probably looking at they're probably going to go into politics or something. And Don's pretty apolitical. I mean, he's liberal.
Who, us?
Yeah, I think he might worry about that. I don't know. It's just my opinion.
Don is just the most well adjusted out of all of us, and he doesn't need this shit.
Oh,
why won't
Don likes his computer?
No, if you think about it, you weren't at the radio station. John had a top 40 show. I did the oldies, and he was the station manager.
Don did classical, right?
Right, exactly, because that was
Don's thing.
That fit Don's personality to a T. Because you're going to throw on like the Ninth Symphony from Beethoven, like the Fourth Movement, which is about like 28 minutes long. And you just got to come in and say, and that was the ninth minute.
I don't see Don hyping up
and he was comfortable. That was John. He had the best promo out of everyone.
Oh yeah, with
that wave,
the
Superman background. Yeah, and that got lost somehow. We were trying to tape that to preserve that, but that got lost.
I think the band.
See, I'm missing my thing because right now, as John's looking for something.
Yeah, I know. I can't. I lost the guys. I can't find them.
It's a lot funnier when we did this for a moment because you see John.
My head's like looking around.
You'd have to get him on camera doing that.
Right. Guys, I can't believe I can't find them. Anyhow, so the story was they were in there and they're talking about, being in bands and stuff like that. And I don't know, 15, 20 minutes in, they're vomiting.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they're throwing up. I was like, holy shit. I can't remember the name of the podcast.
What are they doing? They're doing a shot of beer every minute?
And then they were doing, and they also had they also had rum. I think.
Well, that's it. You don't mix.
Right.
Yeah,
so
you don't do that. It's one or the other. No. You're not doing both.
No.
One last shot at this. I'd want to give these guys a shout out, and I really can't believe that if I go to, because I had them in here. The only thing I might have deleted the podcast.
Through the miracle of podcasting, John will edit all of this dead air right out of the spot.
By the way, while he's looking for that on the radio station.
Yes.
What did the Bam? What was his specialty?
Who?
The Bam, the bitter Asian man.
Oh, he had a top 40 show on Wednesday night.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
The bitter Asian
The
man.
Bam.
Bitter
Now there's something.
Asian man.
That's what you should. Now you got to have like a jingle for the Jimmy. You got to have a jingle for the Bam. You know?
Okay.
Da 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 da. The Bam.
Well, I did write lyrics to the bitter.
I don't see
Asian
the
man.
point. Don't see the point. Don't see the point.
What's the point?
What's the point?
I can't find it. I don't have it. Guys, I apologize. I wish I would have had the
No longer will Deuce be the
backbone of this chick.
Boy, those
In
guys.
college, the guys, we would go out. We would all go hang out. We would drink beer, eat food. We'd be on a Friday night. We'd all be hanging out, talking. And the bill would come, and everybody would throw money on the table.
And we're still short.
And we were short. We couldn't figure out what it was. Well,
Deuce figured it out.
Deuce figured it out. So what happened was, instead of doing that where you just split it down the middle, Deuce brings out a calculator. I shall no longer be the backbone of this check.
No longer. And yeah, John was like, it was like.
Hey, listen, I loved it because it cost me like $20 less.
Yeah, right. Well, we were paying for those other free.
Yeah, they're drinking and stuff. I might have had like one drink or something like that, something to eat, and I'm putting in.
Or that idiot Bam would get ice milk
Yeah.
with ice. I mean, what the fuck kind of drink is that?
Yeah, who the fuck goes to a bar and iced milk? Yeah.
That's right, iced
You remember?
milk.
Because he's a douche. He's a dick.
He's a douche. But I digress.
Do you think
Bam.
do you think the Bam listens?
I don't care.
I don't care.
Okay.
Well, if he is, here's a message I got for him. I'm going to kick your ass.
Wow.
Well, just what he did. I mean, because you know the story about him and me on Facebook, right?
No,
Oh, you don't know that?
You don't know that?
I missed this. So much for the hour. Here we go.
Saddle up.
Well, he friends me, right? But
Yeah.
I don't know who he is because he doesn't use his real name.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's one of those guys.
So I asked
John.
him. So I asked. You're right. I asked him.
Who me? Who me?
So I asked
I have my
him,
name on there for years. Go
I
ahead.
asked him. I
Right.
said, "Who is it?" Oh, he said, "Oh, that's it's Bam." I was like, "Oh, well, why is he?" I said, "I don't know." I said, and then I'm thinking, well, why does he friend me? Okay, because he's at odds with him,
Right.
and he has to know that if he's like at odds with somebody on my family, I'm not on neutral ground.
Right.
I'm on.
Yeah, point of note here, just because he
So I know he's up to something.
just because he has a dysfunctional relationship with his brother and sister, I guess he figures that
Everybody
everybody has a
does. Right.
dysfunctional relationship.
So I'm figuring, okay, well, what's he up to? He's up to something here. I said,
Right.
why would he friend me? I mean,
Okay.
now I never did anything to the guy.
No one has.
No.
Oh.
So I said, okay, I know what he's going to do. I said, all right, I'll play along. So I accept.
I
his friend.
accept your
Okay,
friend
okay,
request.
right? I know what he's going to do.
That's not how this works.
I said he's going to be my friend for a while, and at some unspecified point, he's going to unfriend me in a spectacular, demonstrative way on Facebook.
I unfriend you.
Yeah. And guess what happens? That's what he does.
I unfriend you.
That's
not how it
I
works.
posted something.
That's not how any of this works.
I posted something, and then
I
he
know what
posted.
you posted.
Yeah, right. Well, then he chimes in. Well, now him and Bam are going back and forth.
Well, we actually didn't go back and forth.
He said something.
What it was some kind of
It had to do with immigration.
it-
Or no, voter ID.
voter
laws.
ID laws.
That's what
Okay.
That's what it was.
Yeah, he
because
got
they
pissed off.
uncovered this huge voter ID fraud. And then I said, now, see, this is why you should have voter ID laws. You should have an identification to vote.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, he got on his high horse and like Joe said, in a spectacular fashion.
Yeah, he would never ask me how am I doing, what you've been up to, anything like that. He was always like kind of opposing me. And I don't mean like political posts. Yeah, I'm not talking about political posts. He would just like take the opposition to
Yeah.
what I was saying on anything.
Everything he's on the opposite
Well, he was
side.
always a
Right.
contrarian.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah, I get that.
Contrarian.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get
very
that.
much so.
He's the Bam. That's what he does. But then he does that, and of course he unfriends me.
Right.
So now I said, okay, now it's on the table. We're at war. So when I see him, if I ever see him again, I'm going to kick his ass. Because, here's a guy.
And that's how you do things.
You can act like a man. Like a man.
I let him into my house. We used to play D&D. We used, we had wings, beer, and everything like that. And now he's going to, I'm a jerk off? Fuck you. I'm going to beat his ass.
Okay.
And Joe's been
That's
drinking,
my feeling.
And Joe's been drinking water.
Yeah. And you know what this is about? You know what this is all about with him and me?
No.
I almost kicked his ass at chess, and I was drunk.
Yeah.
That's what that's about. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I beat...
Holy cow, you did not.
Oh, yeah,
you
Tioga.
were there.
You were there for that.
You were at that chess match.
He had his book. He had his chess book. He was studying the game all week, So he insisted on playing a game.
First of all, we go a couple of 100 miles away with girls and booze.
And guns.
and
And
guns.
who the fuck plays chess?
And he wants to play chess. Now, what he didn't know is that
Joe's pretty
I'm
goddamn
an avid
good at
chess player. He didn't know that. He didn't know that I play chess.
Okay.
So he insisted on playing me at chess. And I didn't really want to play. I was having a good time. I'm drinking. I'm talking to Kathy, Sandy. We're having a great time, So he wanted to play. So we played. And, with every move, he's moving, he's analyzing everything. Well, between my moves, I'm, yeah. Like I'm just playing a game, and between moves, I'm bullshitting. I'm having a great time.
Watching the Terminator.
Yeah, I'm watching a movie. Well, it came down to the wire. We came down to it was like a scorched earth game. We came down to it was actually a stalemate.
Okay.
But he had more pieces, and I just fuck it. I just moved and let him win. Put me in checkmate.
Right.
He got so pissed off that he didn't quickly dispatch me.
Much like the OJ jury, he sequestered himself in
He
the bedroom and
grabbed
started
his
studying
chess book, got his
book.
chess game, got his chess bag, and locked, and went in that one room that he always slept. If I remember correctly, he slept with you and Sandy, didn't he? Which was
God,
kind
I
in
of,
the
hope
middle
not.
room.
Yeah,
I think he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he slept with you guys. That had to be strange.
Cock block.
You're in a room with a girl, and the BAM is right next to you. The BAM. The BAM. What's the point? You got to do that. What's the point?
All right. So what I need you to do is I need you to say in the microphone, I need you to say, what's the point? What's the point? What's the point?
What's the point? What's the point? What's the point?
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Actually, I could probably dig up the Tioga tapes and get a soundbite from him. He said enough half-assed stupid things that you could, make
I would
something out of that.
love to be able to get a hold of those on. Where
I made that music video.
Yeah. All right. Holy cow.
You should give John a jackass also, because he's been dying to have you say jackass.
Oh yeah.
Oh. And guess who has to pay for that? Jackass.
That will live on in perpetuity.
Oh my.
Why do you have to be a simple ass?
Jackass always takes it
It's
off the
my
ass.
destiny.
Oh yeah? I'll press your face on that grill. That'll be your destiny.
I don't remember ever saying
I don't
those
remember.
things.
I think you kids make this shit up. He doesn't remember saying the shit that when we were kids. When he came up with these gems, that was like in there. That's in the vault forever now.
Well, like I said, I remember one time when I said something about Genghis, and he's like, "No, his name's not Genghis." I'm like, "I thought his name was Genghis."
And I said, who the hell would name their kid Genghis? He said, well, they named you.
Deuce. What the hell do I know? I'm playing along. All right, everybody. If you want to hear the first half of this hour and a half, this marathon podcast, just stay tuned after the music, and you can check that out. And that was a doozy. All right, I got a piece of pizza over here. I'm going to eat. Pizza.
Eat the pizza.
All right, talk to you next week.
Hold on.
That was fun.
That's it. We're just getting into it.
Can you do Facebook and Mixer at the same time, or is
What
it like
the hell just happened?
one or the other deal?
I think I can do it all. Well, we're trying. We're doing it all right now.
Do it up. Yeah, I have to say that regular old-fashioned incandescent bulb is much better. That curly cube fluorescent bulb in there, I felt like I was being interrogated. It was like,
things.
talk!
You know what they're good for? Outside.
They're also good for making everyone in the room look like death.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So now, if you were on Facebook, you had another tab up for Facebook, you could see us, but
Yeah,
we
then
would
you
be
get-
delayed. We would be in a delay.
I know there's always a catch.
All right. So it's 5:21 right now. We're live. We have Deuce and Deuce's brother Joe. And as you can tell, they have the same shirt on. They're almost twins. Well, they're like Irish twins, but they're Italian. They're like 10 months apart, which we used to say was Genghis was like, it's a boy. Get out of the way.
Get out of the way, Doc. I'm going right to work on this.
What? Right now, here in the birth room?
Yes. So we have that. We are also now live on Mixler. So if you're on Mixler and you want to listen to us, we have a chat room there.
And we're eagerly awaiting the arrival of the pizza guy, so don't be surprised.
In the middle of the show when Deuce has to go somewhere.
I'll be exiting off camera.
Right. And the Mixler thing's kind of neat. The only problem I have with Mixler was it used to have a chat room. And I was in the chat room Friday night with Bold and Belligerent. And we were in there just messing around, fooling around, having a good time. And
laughing, farting, carrying on.
Yeah. And if you go to if you go to Bold and Belligerent, like in the middle of the show, you can hear him talking about Brand X because I was like typing stuff into the chat room.
Yeah, I was listening.
And they were talking about it. So we've got so many things going on. We have Facebook Live going on. We have Mixler going on.
Did you push the record button?
I pushed the record button this time.
So we're all on. We're okay.
So everything is okay.
After the debacle with the Jimmy 2 weeks ago.
Oh, my goodness. We did 15 minutes of a guy screwing his pit bull.
And everything was going on. The cops rode by.
Right.
The sirens blaring.
Yes.
We're all like, oh, they're coming for us.
It's the Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, what do you do? What do you do?
The Jimmy right now he's really, really busy because unbeknownst to me, being down here in the Brand X studio, I guess we had a snow squall and we got like an inch of snow in like an hour.
And no, in about 15 minutes.
In about 15 minutes. Well, that snow came in about 15 minutes?
Yeah.
So the Jimmy's out spreading salt and plowing right now because that's what he does.
Dude, it was like being in like Pittsburgh when I used to travel. It was like lake effect snow.
Oh, just
because the sun's shining right now.
Yes.
It was weird. I haven't seen it since I've been in Pittsburgh like 7 or 8 years ago.
And it just come across and that was it.
Yeah. Well, and it came down like all of a sudden it just got like ominously dark. And I was like, well, I'm going to leave now because I thought it was going to snow throughout the night. And, I'm glad I left when I did because it did take me a while to get here.
Hey, Daniel from Toe on the Trigger just signed into the Facebook chat. How you doing, Daniel?
Hey, Daniel. How you doing?
Joe, you're a podcast listener now? You listen to us, but do you listen
to you guys?
Any other podcasts?
I listened to Bad Cop the one time. Those guys are pretty good.
Yes.
I mean, I'm new to the whole
podcasting thing.
So,
we're dudes in our
gentle with me and
we're dudes in our middle 50s, technology is kind of we've been through the whole thing. Joe has a cold, so every once in a while you're going to hear him cough.
I'm on life support. I got my halls, I got my inhaler, I got
Really glad you brought that with you. I'll be enjoying that next week when I'm sick. I'll be here next week on the microphone cursing you out.
You can thank the Petri dish that I work in. All those immigrant labor people who are so dedicated to their jobs, they show up when they're ill.
That's true.
It's what they do. It is Year of the Rooster.
Probably.
So, this is the pre-show, kind of, sort of, because we haven't even started yet.
Yeah, waiting on that pizza.
Right. It's that show that goes on just before the big show shoots out. The pre-show.
The pre-show show.
So
then there's a post-show show.
Right, which you guys aren't privy to because we turn off the mic. Although, should we turn off the mic for the post show this time?
You're the captain of the ship.
Yeah.
You're the guy behind the command.
As I have said, I'm along for the ride.
Record everything and then cut out what's useless, which is like most of our stuff.
So what you been doing this last week?
Actually, nothing. A whole bunch of nothing. This is the worst week in the world. Football is over, so it's that week before the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So there's no sports on TV. I'm not a big hockey guy. The 76ers usually suck, but they got this guy Embiid now, Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
And he seems to be firing up the crowd. He's pretty good. He's 7'2".
Yeah, how could he not be?
Yeah, well. But I mean, he's...
You, just stand here, we'll throw the ball to you.
But I mean, he's really good. And here's the thing for me. And here's the other thing. I have a camera on now. Now the camera's on. My nose is itching like crazy. Hold on. Let me give it one of these. Hopefully that would work. So the thing with him is when they drafted him like 3 years ago, he had a broken foot, but he was like supposed to be this greatest player. I'm like, why would you big guys, with feet problem, that doesn't go away.
Well, generally, real big guys always have back problems.
Well, so this guy, they drafted him like the third pick in the draft. They drafted him, and for 2 years he's been rehabbing. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden they're bringing him out and they're playing him like 15, 20 minutes and stuff. But he's unbelievable. I mean, the guy is he's an amazing. John, watched an NBA basketball game just to watch him and see what it was entertaining.
Oh, Pizza guy's here. Here he comes.
Just go.
Better hit that.
The pizza guy.
The pizza guy. Now you need a jingle for the pizza guy. The pizza guy.
He had one. I don't have a pizza.
Oh.
Maybe that's it.
Or I could always use the old Cheech and Chong thing.
Right.
Are you the one who ordered the pepperoni pizza?
Well, here's the pizza.
And here's
the pepperoni. Now, so what's he doing up there? How long does it take to get a pizza?
He's paying the guy.
Yeah, we're doing a pod. If that was the Jimmy, he'd be up there telling me, yeah, we're doing a podcast downstairs.
Now, did I ever actually meet the Jimmy? I'm not sure.
I don't think you have.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I don't know.
I think I may have, but it might have been years ago. I don't know.
Yes.
It's hard to say.
Here comes the pizza. Well, you want to sit it over here? Just drop it over here. You can't eat it now. It's like this cheese is like molten lava. I said you're up there talking to the pizza. Jimmy would be interviewing the guy. Oh, yeah, we're down there doing a podcast.
Well, he was at the other back door.
Oh, yeah. Well, see.
There's only 17 back doors here. So.
That's my normal delivery spot.
Right.
They know how to, every one of them know how to get here. Because that's like home cooking.
So they know you're like a Pavlovian dog.
I'm a bachelor. I'm a bachelor. I mean, am I going to cook or am I going to order something?
Pizza.
I mean, how many nights a week do you cook?
I have to cook almost all the time now.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Well, he's single and free to mingle.
Yeah. Well, now I'm hyperuricemic, so now I really got to watch.
Hyper what?
Hyperuricemic.
Which is?
High uric acid.
So you get the gout.
Oh, I get multiple attacks. This past year has been terrible for me. I've been on crutches off and on for the past 8 months.
That's just for sympathy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
As opposed to Tioga. Sympathy.
But
no, you can't start speaking French in here.
Yeah, I have to. I always have to cook. I have to eat a lot of vegetables. I can only do meat like 6 ounces a day, and
you poor guy.
Yeah, but
holy cow!
Eating pizza is like really.
Are you going to be able to do this? Are you going to be able to eat pizza?
Yeah,
you whining, whining and crying next week. Oh, my toe! When do you get it in your
next
toe?
week?
Is that where it goes in your toe?
No, I get it. Well, in my left foot, I get it.
Whole
I get it in my ankle.
Right.
In my right foot, I get it in the toe. So far, I've been lucky. I haven't had them both simultaneously.
They say it's like putting a hot ice pick in there. Is what it feels like.
No, it's worse than that.
It's worse than a hot ice pick?
Yeah. Think of when I first got it, I thought somebody actually shot me in the foot.
Really?
That's how bad it was because I couldn't,
Just all of a sudden it came on?
Yeah, overnight. Usually that's when it happens. Overnight, you wake up all of a sudden. Right? I woke up with this bad-ass pain in my foot. I said, what the fuck did I do overnight?
Right.
So I said, first thing you try to do, fuck, I'm a man. I'm going to stand up.
I'll walk it off.
I roll over. I start right on flat on my face on the floor. I said, no. No.
It's like Grandpa said, you can't even put a sheet on your toe.
No.
Even a sheet on your toe.
You got to stick your foot out the side of the bed with no cover on it, and if it's cold, it's just tough shit for your foot.
One might say it sucks.
My cousin Greg, he has the gout. He's got the gout. He gets it too. He says you'd be better to shoot your toe off. It feels better.
Yeah. I was at the point where I just amputate my fucking foot.
Just take the toe off.
Yeah.
Take it off.
Yeah,
now,
because
I understand that feeling.
Right, because I said, if you amputate my foot, I'll just do like the Blade Runner guys. We get the little bunny hopper, prosthetics on both my feet.
Right.
I won't be dealing with pain anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be on medication. I won't be seeing the doctors. Just take the friggin' things off. You get to that line of reasoning. You're like, it gets that.
Suddenly it becomes yeah, you know what? I can make this work.
I tell you what, my left knee, it's, I have no cartilage in either knee. My left knee is the worst one. There's been times where I thought to myself, you know what? I would like to take a Sawzall and cut it off above the knee.
Yeah.
I think that would be less painful.
Right. There is a girl who did that. I saw it in news.
Cut her leg off or toe?
She was she had her leg amputated from the knee down because she was having she had some kind of car accident.
Right.
She was just unremitting pain. She was on opioids.
Right.
And she started getting addicted to that. She said, you know what?
Just cut it off.
Well, naturally, and she determined this is what she wanted to do. Don't you know? There's a group of doctors that got together and tried to stop her from that.
Just chopping off her leg? Why would they care?
Because they're moral and they know better.
Well, you're cutting off,
Yeah,
you're cutting off the gravy train of the money that's going to flow
exactly.
out.
Well, she said, look, you even said I'm never going to walk again. I can't rehabilitate. I'm in continuous pain. Why don't we just cut? And
cut it off.
So that's what they did, and they had a big party for her. She had a farewell party for
her leg.
Yeah.
No more,
but
okay.
Now, so she got a prosthetic. Now she's doing great. She has a life. She says, I have a life back again. She's got the prosthetic.
She changed her name to Eileen.
Or Peg.
Well, now the prosthetics they have now.
Yeah. I was going with Peg. You had Eileen here.
Had it in the ready. Had it right in the holster.
Well, the prosthetics they have now, they're almost like bionic legs now.
Yeah.
So we call her Jamie Summers.
Yeah, right.
Dude, but, I'm waiting for them where I'm hoping one day I can just get a whole lower unit. They cut you off right at the hip and put a whole new bionic lower unit on.
Oh, okay.
You know, hip, knees, ankles. And it'll be fine. You just go out for a walk.
I don't know.
No?
I see like that. What's that? Devereaux on.
You can't go in.
I was trying to think of that. What the hell was that guy's name?
Devereaux.
Yeah, it's like RoboCop.
Yeah.
How you going with the your planned gastric bypass?
The gastric bypass. All I have to do is get the clearance for my heart to see if my heart is.
See if you have one.
To see if I have one. To see if it that'll be okay. And then I go under, and then they take your stomach and they cut it into a banana.
Now, what do you get in the sleeve, or you get in the actual? Okay.
No, they're not moving the intestines around. Yeah. I've seen that done before. That's nowhere.
But that's the old procedure.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's the old version.
I figured by now, right? They can do everything. They can they give you a pill to make your dick hard, right? But they can't
that's
figure.
More important.
Well, not really. I could have that, but really no place to put it. So it's let's not put the cart before the horse. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what do you got waiting for the heart? How far away?
I'm just waiting for the appointment. I just got to go
it.
for the appointment. Yeah. Then it's 5 months, and then you got a two weeks of liquid diet. They're going to have to tie me down. Mm-hmm. They're actually going to have to probably put a strap around my head, top of my head, get my jaw shut like this, and then lock it so I can't eat or chew.
Right.
That's the only way that I'm going to be able to do liquid for 2 weeks.
Now, when they say liquid, is it just a clear liquid thing? Just
clear,
water, cranberry juice, apple juice kind of a thing?
Yes, protein drinks too.
Milk, I guess, is good then.
Well, they might as well just put you on an IV.
Well, milk is very fatty, so they probably wouldn't want that.
Yeah, so
unless you drank skim milk where there's no fat in it at all. But that's like drinking wallpaper paste, so fuck that.
Yeah, it's like white water.
Yeah, if I pour milk on my cereal and I can see through the milk and see the bottom of the bowl, that's not right.
So you're one of those hardy guys. You got to use whole
damn
milk.
Skippy, I'm whole milk all the way.
All the way on your Captain Crunch.
It's all or nothing. Mayonnaise.
As Genghis would say, it's like screwing with a rubber. It's just no satisfaction.
Yeah, it's just why do that?
I need fat in my milk.
As you can see, Joe does a better Genghis.
He does the best Genghis. That's why we brought.
Well, I think I most resemble Genghis. I think
that is true. Yeah, and you have the Genghis voice.
Yeah.
No one really has. It was funny because it's like the way you perceive things. And like my mom, when she would imitate my father, she would say, well, after all, I was just sitting here. And then my father was like, oh, is that what I sound like?
Yeah. Obviously, Mom heard that in a whole different way than we heard.
And I've never heard but that after all was my mother's expression. Yeah, like after all, we should be my father never said after all. My mom would always imitate him using her expressions. Yeah. So my mom was really a bad imitator of Genghis.
All right, question of the podcast. What's Deuce drinking? Mindy wants to know. I have Mindy on the okay, so Mindy's watching. Mindy, I was listening
Mindy.
to Three is Comedy this morning. And I totally agree with you about Will Ferrell. He is the most unfunny actor I've ever met in my entire life. That guy is just he doesn't have a funny bone in his body. As far as I didn't like him on Saturday Night Live, I don't like any of the movies.
Except for the
Anchorman was
cowbell.
More
sketch.
cowbell. I think more cowbell.
But he didn't write it.
Yeah,
he just sat there and played the cow. I could
Exactly.
have done that.
Well, he kind of went nuts. He took it. He went off script with what he
Let me
did.
just tell you something. You could have went and got a homeless man,
But-
and he would have played the cowbell the same way.
I thought he was good in The Wedding Crashers.
With the same intensity.
I can't watch him. He loosens my stool. Will Ferrell, he's unfunny. Every time I watch him, I want to see him. To be funny. He's not funny. Where was I? I was watching a late night show. It might have been the one with Letterman. What's the guy's name? Colbert. The Colbert Show.
Oh,
Okay.
Stephen Colbert.
right, that guy.
He came out like he had like animals. He was like the guy from Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. And he had and they're bringing animals out to him. He's dressed in a safari suit. Not a yuck in the whole thing. It's horrible. The whole thing was
pretty
horrible.
dry.
It's dry as toast. Burnt toast.
Old toast. But to answer Mindy's question, the first one was
The first one.
the Lost Abbey, which is a California microbrew. This is the Angel Share.
Okay.
12.8% alcohol.
Hey,
What
you
could
might want to show
possibly
the
go
camera.
wrong?
12.8%.
Yeah, this is the equivalent of 2 beers in one bottle. So that's nice. And the second selection is from a Pennsylvania brewery called Trogs, which is near Hershey, PA. And this is the Java Stout.
So you're into all that craft beer and stuff.
Yeah, I like to taste what I'm drinking. I'm kind of like Quentin Tarantino in Pulp Fiction. Don't tell me about the fucking coffee because I would. That's exactly right.
There's
fancy
one
gourmet shit.
Fancy. Oh, we're having some fancy gourmet shit. There's a coffee, and I think it's out. It might be in Cambodia. What happens is the coffee beans fall down
And it's digested through an animal.
through a monkey,
Yeah.
and the monkey shits it out, and then they go and they pick the
Yeah.
coffee beans out of the monkey shit.
In fact, Mindy covered that on 3 Years Comedy.
Is that where I got that
a
from?
couple of weeks ago. Yeah, it's probably.
The monkey poop coffee.
See, it lays there, and then John finds it.
It comes. it's like it comes to me like a dream. It just comes in.
Came to me in a dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. 18 minutes. We haven't even started the show yet.
Why not? This is the warm up. All right. Well, the pizza got here. It's taunting me from afar.
All right. You want a slice before we go?
Yeah.
All right. Come on. Let's open it up.
Pizza. Why not?
Just pass me a slice. Actually, we're going to need paper towels. Oh, you got paper towels right there.
I got paper towels here. Where? Here's paper towels. This is how dudes do it. No plates. A paper towel.
Yeah. Now the over and under. Who's going to wear the pizza home? And I'm going to go with Deuce.
John.
So, because that's my luck. Oh, just hand me the paper towels. No pizza on it.
Well, wait a minute.
You ass.
Well, the slices were still very.
Yeah, this is our first show on Mixler. Mixler's like, yeah, this show sucks. They get him on there. They talk about some guy's father. We don't even know him. Then he started eating pizza. I don't get it. Sorry, Mixler. We'll be better next time. We got guests in the studio. What are you going to do?
Unless they're people you don't like, and then they're pests.
My favorite pizza joke, pizza's like sex. When it's good, it's really good. And when it's bad, it's still pretty good.
Remember we were at the radio station? And we
Yes.
had that pizza place that was delivering free pizza to us.
Mm-hmm.
And another pizza place in the area heard about it. And they're like, well, we'll bring you 2 free pizzas. John's on the phone. He's like, he didn't know what to do because he had like this loyalty to the other pizza place. He goes, well, I'm a pizza slut. Send them over.
I am. I'm a pizza slut.
I'll do anything for that pizza.
Now what? Oh, you said hold. I thought you said hold on.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I said, oh well.
Oh, well. Okay.
Yeah, but it came out.
All right. We're all chewing. We're all off mic. This is great.
Oh, yeah. This is spectacular podcasting.
Well, we really haven't started the podcast yet.
But you did hit record.
Yes, I did hit record.
This is the pre-show.
I can't tell. I have Facebook Live up. I have Mixler up. I have the sound effects up. And then I have the recording program we use up. So we're like 20 minutes in. 20 minutes of eating. Oh, look, look, Minnie, real Philadelphia style, Jersey style pizza.
None of that Chicago noise.
None of that Chicago noise. None of that stuff from California. There ain't no pineapples or any fruit on our pizza.
I've heard California makes really great pie.
What kind of pie?
Pizza.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard they've got a lot of friends of mine from the last company I worked for. They make some. I mean, obviously they have the gourmet stuff,
That fancy gourmet shit.
That fancy gourmet shit. But no, they make some pretty good pizza out there, close to like Neapolitan, like the New York, Jersey, Philadelphia style. Chicago, they don't know what they're doing.
Well, I think New Jersey, is the best pizza in the world because
you live here.
Well, not only that, but we're surrounded by New York, Philadelphia, Boardwalk, and we have it's like just an interesting blend and combination. It's like the perfect storm. We have the perfect pizza. We got everything going on. That's this boy's opinion, okay?
Well, the other thing is, I'm chewing, I'm sorry. The other thing is, the water here makes a really good dough. Mm-hmm. They can't get bagels or bread or as good as we have here.
Well, that's why, like in my great uncle lived in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I mean, they couldn't really have a good bakery or anything out there because the height they are above sea level. They laugh at Denver. They call it's the Mile High City. Well, like Santa Fe is like 7,000 feet above sea level. So like dough and bread just doesn't rise correctly. And they said if you could make pizza the way that we can make it here, where we're closer to sea level.
Oh yeah, we are sea level.
Yeah, you'd make a fortune.
Mm-hmm. A good rainstorm, we'd be up to our ankles in water here.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, really. And California's got that same thing going on, so that's why they're probably able to make good pizza. Well, I mean, if they're on the coast.
Yeah, I mean, I really haven't had bad pizza. I went out to Chicago. I had their stuff. It's like lasagna with crust.
That just tells me someone didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah, it's like,
and they just said, this is Chicago style. Wow, that was a great save. You convinced millions of people of that.
It's like lasagna with crust.
Yeah, that deep dish pizza. It's like
right. Chicago's one of those towns where they always try to put a spin on something that someone else has made. Like they have the Chicago hot dog. Mm-hmm. They try to do barbecue.
I never heard of that. What's that?
It's got like peppers on it, and I had one.
So someone had a bunch of peppers left over. They threw it on a hot dog and said Chicago.
We'll put them in. Yeah, exactly.
Get rid of these peppers. Okay.
Well, that's like blackened chicken. It wasn't blackened. It was burnt.
Right.
The chef fucked up. And so, but instead of saying, I burn it. No. You know what? We'll say it's blackened.
It's blackened.
And people will love it. And he did. Give me that blackened chicken.
Hey, listen. Can you do that to salmon? Can you blacken my salmon too? Yeah. Sure.
They blacken everything down there. Was it New Orleans they do that?
New Orleans. I've been in New Orleans.
I heard it's really something to see.
Dude, that's the party town. That's Disney World for alcoholics. New Orleans. And forget about that. There, every kind of restaurant you've ever wanted to go to, the food down there is unbelievable. They have jambalaya and just the Creole cooking. It's just fantastic. I mean, I was down there for an elevator thing. We were doing surveys on elevators down there. Mm-hmm. I never ate so much in my entire life.
It was elevator Mardi Gras.
It was. Yeah, it was like it was the week before Mardi Gras. Everybody was warming up. We walked down Bourbon Street.
Riding up and down in the elevator
with beads on.
The girls are walking down the streets. I swear, if they had video of this, if they had video of this, you guys would crack up. So there I am. I'm walking down Bourbon Street, and there's this girl. She's all drunked up, and she's looking for beads. Well, these dudes are throwing beads off of the balcony, but they're like, show us your tits. So she'd go over. So I'm standing like from me to Joe away, and she'd like lift up her top. I'm like, hey, nice. She'd move down. I'd move down. So I followed her all the way down the street. What can I tell you? I'm a boob guy.
Oh, okay. You and me both, brother.
Yeah. Matter of fact, if I can go to the Twitter, I put a Twitter poll out there because I was on the Twitter today.
Oh, I'm shocked. You and Donald Trump.
Who tweets more? Let's see. I put a poll out there. Here was the poll. 1 vote. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the participation. So here's what the poll was. Ladies, I need your help. Question for the podcast. Would you like it better if all women didn't have boobs? Like they were boobless. That way you wouldn't have to worry about women with big boobs. I'm just talking about the ladies now. I know we would hate it.
Yeah.
I would hate it. So, if you could if all women could get rid of them, they weren't judged by their boobs. It wasn't a status symbol. You didn't have to get fake boobs, all that kind of stuff.
I would say I'm going to guess that most women would say they would wish that none of them had boobs.
Well, I got one vote, and it says hell no. Now, I can't tell if it's a guy or not. One vote?
Yeah. I don't know. I know some women who are really, really proud of their boobs.
Yeah, they paid good money for them.
But I know girls that have big boobs that hate the fact that they do have big boobs.
Well, the girl who cuts my hair, she had to have a breast reduction.
Oh, that's a crime against nature.
No, she was.
It's like having a penis reduction. Who does that?
She was in a lot of pain. She was. It was hard on her. She said she had to do it. Yeah, right.
Hard on her.
Once the last company.
Yeah, no pun intended.
The last company that
the hard on me.
The last company that I worked for, I worked for Nat Sherman. I was a trainer. So they flew this guy in from Ohio. He's from Cincinnati. And I thought I was the whitest white guy working for Nat Sherman, but this guy made me look like Isaac Hayes, man. I had like so much soul committed to this guy. So he lands in Philadelphia, and we drive out to Allentown, Bethlehem East, in that area. That's where I'm going to train him. And we're sitting in the parking lot, and this girl walked out. And I said, oh, my God, look at that poor girl with the lower back pain. And he looks at her, and he says, how can you tell she has lower back pain? And I looked at him like, are you kidding me, dude? I mean, it was a hot summer day. She was like wearing a T-shirt. There was nothing left to the imagination. I was like, you can't be that like stupid, you know? Right? But it was just like funny. I was like, you know, and that made the pass around.
Well, everywhere. I think it's the women. Here's the thing that bothers me.
Bothers you.
It bothers you? Yeah.
Let me get it all out before you yell at me.
Get these tits out of my face. It bothers me.
You'll never hear that come out of my mouth.
No.
But you'll always hear it go in.
Yes. Yeah. So
I was waiting for the
there was on the Twitter today, a guy had said, you know, there's a girl with, I don't know, her breast almost exposed, and she's trying to tell me about this. And I think the follow-up tweet was, well, I guess because girls have large breasts, they have no intelligence. I'm like, I don't see how one thing has to do anything with the other. But here's my issue. If you're going to come with the top where they're, you know, low cut top, and you can see the cleavage and all that, if you think we're not looking, you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
We're looking.
Right.
There's no way we can't.
You can't. We're wired that
way. Here's the portion of the show where I get in trouble when the Queen of Dilly Dally listens.
Okay.
But back in the day when I was a lot younger than I am now.
Right. I'm glad Joe's on the show today because he's single like me.
Right. Well,
and we can talk.
Joe knows his story. I worked for my uncle in his store. So I was like 21, 22 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though it was like years away from meeting Diane, I'll still get in trouble for this. So, you know, like when you worked in a store.
Yes.
You would always have someone like would pop in and they're trying to sell you like stereo equipment or they're trying to sell you pots and pans or whatever. So these two girls come in. I was 21, 22 at the time. The one girl was about my age. The other one was an older woman who I would say then was maybe 30, maybe 35. And they're both dressed up to display their goods, if you know what I mean.
Their tits were out.
Right. So they're showing jewelry. And the way that they're doing this is like they're showing the jewelry and they're bending over and they're saying, would you like this for your wife or your girlfriend or whatever? And I was like, well, I'm really not interested. I'm sorry, I'm really not interested.
Giving you a down blouse.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like it's all out there. So finally, to get rid of them, I said, there's no way I'm going to get rid of these people unless I offend them. So I was like, well, I'll tell you what. I'll buy every piece that you have here if I get to play with her tits. And they left. So it was like, you know.
Well, that brings up the...
But they got them out there, so what the hell?
That kind of brings up your bachelor party story.
Yeah, well, don't tell that story because then I will get murdered.
Right.
I can't tell the story?
Well, that wasn't my bachelor party. That was you guys
the planning of the bachelor party.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I want to go there either.
Oh, we're going.
Oh, it was a...
We're going.
Oh, to me, the best part of the night is what you said.
Hold on, wait a minute. That's not... It's not...
Everyone out there just perked
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Let's not get that cart before the horse here.
Yeah, right.
All right, so it's Deuce's bachelor party. We have to go out, and we have to plan his bachelor party. So it was the week beforehand. It was me, you, our friend Don. That was it, the three of us?
It was just us three.
Okay. So we decided to go where we're going to go. We tried this one place. It was kind of a strip bar, but there was no alcohol served. Yeah. So they could get naked. It was called the Fantasy Show Bar.
A milk bar. Yeah.
The fantasy show bar is what it was called.
Because in New Jersey, for some ridiculous reason, you can't have complete nudity and alcohol served at the same place, which to me is like stupid. Like, what goes hand in hand with nudity than alcohol?
Well, the problem is if they get too much alcohol, then you can't get them off the nudity.
I guess.
You have to have, you'd have to, everybody would be.
Lines are drawn.
Exactly. The bouncers would be in there killing people. So we're sitting there. And we're just kind of looking around, seeing what we're going to do. Are we going to come here? And a woman walks up. The waitress walks up. No, it wasn't a waitress.
No, it was one of the dancers.
It was one of the dancers.
It was oil wrestling night.
It was oil. Just by chance, it was oil wrestling night.
Yeah.
So the lady walks up to me and she says, would you like to be one of my corner guys? And I go, I don't know. She goes, well, what are you here for? And I said, well, we're looking, my buddy's, he's going to have a bachelor party. We might bring him here. She goes, well, I'll tell you what. You give me 20 or 10.
No, it was
$20.
Hey, well, here's what I heard. I was talking with Don, and I just happened to look at John, who's sitting nearby with this girl.
Joe has a better memory.
And all I hear is John's voice. He goes, now, let me get this straight. I'm going to give you $10. You're going to give me a pass for 10 of my buddies to come in here for free, and I get to oil your tits. And she goes, uh-huh. Well, John, looks at me, for 2 seconds, just looks at me, and then starts going through his pockets. Comes up with $10. Sounds like a good deal, So that's how that happened.
So somehow it's time. It's time to go up to. She's going to go wrestle. So they give us squirt bottles full of baby oil. How did you get involved? You put up 10 too?
I don't know how I got involved, but I was in.
You were there.
Yeah, I was there.
I was
up there. I was up there with you.
Well, there was here. I thought it was. See, just like a woman, I thought I was the only one. So when I get up there, there's me, Joe, and 3 other guys.
Well, there was 2 other guys in the other corner. And we were.
Wasn't there more than just us, or was it just me and you with this girl?
I would assume there was an army of guys up there.
No, it was just us 2 with the one girl.
Oh, and
who was squaring off with the other girl, and she had her 2 own guys.
So now we're up there, okay, and you have to oil them down beforehand. So I'm spraying the oil on her, and I'm rubbing her. Not Joe. Joe is giving her a breast exam. He's under the bottom. He's over the top. He's around. I'm like, Joe.
He's getting the underbreast area?
Underbreast? Let me tell you something.
I figured, look, if I'm going to get thrown out, I'm going to make it worth my time.
Let me tell you something. Joe got every bit of his $10 worth out of that. I'm like,
here's how you do it, John.
I'd be honest with you. I felt like, the third wheel. I felt like we're having a threesome, and I'm like, what am I going to do here? So I can't even get a hand in here. So
I just told a story in the break room at work when you and I went to the Tilted Kilt.
Oh.
And it's one of the funniest things I heard you say. You probably forgot you said it. If you don't know what the Tilted Kilt is,
it's like Hooters, but it's
like Hooters,
Irish.
But the girls are dressed up in Irish attire.
Right. They got short mini skirts.
So John kilts, wouldn't that be Scottish?
Okay.
Well,
we'll go with that.
Either way,
Irish too.
Whatever. Okay.
Irish, Scottish,
Wales. Whatever.
They have really.
But anyway, we go
really
there.
short plaid.
And
skirts
John came over to the house, and he's helping me hook my mixer up. And we decided we're going to go out to lunch afterwards. I mean, you help me. I said, let's go out to lunch. I'll treat you to lunch. Oh, okay. Where do you want to go? And there's as you know, there's a million places to eat around my house.
Yes.
But for some mysterious reason, the Tilted Kilt popped into my head. So we go there, and John's, I don't know. If that's where you want to go, we'll go. He's all hesitant and shit and everything. Genuinely, he's all hesitant. So we get in there, and we sit at the table. The waitress comes over, and she leaves, and John's like, I don't know. This is just really weird because all these girls are the same age as my daughter and everything. And, it's kind of weird to be here. But then again, I don't know if I want to see women my age dressed like this. And I told that story in the break room, and everyone just howled. It's see 55-year-old women, varicose veins, bulges.
Hey, let me tell you.
Let me just say, dude, it's the cross I bear. It's one of those things.
One of the greatest rack I've ever seen was, it's actually one of my great cock block stories.
Okay.
And as we know, the cock block is it's an ultimate sin.
Well,
against.
I'll tell you, you want to know.
Well, if it's a guy against a guy, yeah.
Right. Well, look,
That's a pummeling offense.
To me, there's two categories of cock block. There's
actually three.
Category
But
one.
go
Well,
ahead. Go ahead. Tell yours.
Oh, this is the category one is where you're just hot to trot and somebody just fucks it up for you.
Right.
Okay. Category two is when you're hot to trot and she's on board. She wants to go and somebody fucks it up for you.
Okay.
That's even worse.
Right. And then there's
that's what I had.
And the third one is
It's the Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? It's the Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do?
now actually I shouldn't say. It was actually his brother. His
Jimmy's
brother. It was his brother, Mike.
It's Jimmy's brother.
Mikey. It's the Mikey.
It's the Mikey. So we go out. We're in a bar, whatever. I'm with Mike with his girl. We're meeting somebody there. So it's me, Mike, and these two girls. We end up meeting these two girls that Mike knows. So Mike's talking to this one, or was it the Jimmy there? I can't. All right, I'm gonna just get to the story. So basically, what happens is it was three guys, 3 girls. So I'm sitting there, and the two Mike and Jimmy are talking to these 2 girls, and of course, I get what we used to call the bitter chink's girlfriend before they got engaged, which was the mute, because she wasn't talking.
Right.
So try to strike up a conversation. I'm stuck there anyhow. I'm the wingman. I'm stuck there anyhow. So I'm trying to strike up a conversation. Nothing. I mean, I get nothing.
Yeah,
crickets the whole
talking
time.
to wood.
So finally, I said, I got pissed off. I'm like, fuck this. I'm just going to like bust her balls and everything. Just, I'm here. I don't care. So I start being funny, making jokes and stuff like that. And then she cracks a smile and all. Now all of a sudden we're chatting up. And she was the best looking one, but she was the one with the stick up her ass.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden,
Who
the Jimmy
put the sticks
sees
up their butts?
The Jimmy sees me chatting her up. He comes around the table, 3/4 around the table, comes in and sits and starts talking to her. I'm like, now, are you kidding me? Oh, that boy. Yeah. It was either.
Oh, go ahead. No.
It was either him. I can't remember. It was him or Mike. But anyhow, it was the worst cockblock story ever.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's one of mine. Yeah.
What is that?
Move along.
Move along.
That's what you should have told the Jimmy.
All right. Well, in order to tell this story, there was a guy I went to high school with.
Do you realize we're 40 minutes in? We haven't even opened the show yet.
Oh, okay. Shall we open? But
this is all going to be on the end, just so you know.
Okay. He in his class in high school, he went to high school. There was this one guy that was in our class. You know who he is. He was working at I was working at this place, and he's working there. His name was Carmen, like my uncle Carmen. But around the neighborhood, his nickname was Bink, because when he was a baby, he had a binky or some shit like that. But they called him Bink.
Right.
Well, I'm working, and at the time I was working third shift, 9:30 to 6 in the morning.
Right.
And he's walking around. I recognize him. I say, "Hey, Bink, what's up?" "I'm sorry, who are you?" I said, "Oh, I'm Joe." Tell him who I am. I said, "Oh, yeah, I remember. This isn't high school anymore, and we don't call me Bink anymore."
Ooh.
I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right." I'm thinking, okay,
How's douchebag?
Yeah, how does dick fit you? But so, okay, it's cool. But he immediately became an ass kisser. And now he was an electrical. He said he was an engineer, but he wasn't. He was just either certified electronics or whatever. But he would come down to the machine shop and he would come and inspect parts and all that. He doesn't know anything about machining, so it used to piss me off. Right?
Okay.
This is just a little side story before we get to the.
I was going to say, where's the cockblock coming in?
Yeah,
but okay.
Yeah, well, okay, but anyway,
it's painting the picture.
Yeah,
moving along.
I'll just give you some background on what because he didn't
like his childhood.
He was the blockers, and I got to give you.
He didn't like his childhood nickname.
Right.
Okay.
The Joe was the blockee.
Right.
Okay.
Now, like I said, I work third shift. Now we have a warehouse, and there was a mezzanine up there. And up in the mezzanine was where they shelved all the electronics parts. Now, up there was this woman that worked there.
There's a woman. Thank God there's a woman.
Okay, right. Now we're getting somewhere, okay? Her name was Jerry. She's, very attractive. Yeah. And now I was 37 at the time or something.
Okay.
37. She's
How old
50.
was Jerry?
She's 50.
Oh.
She was older. But
So now Jerry's 63.
But she's hot. Now, she looked like, remember, I don't know if you remember Joanna Cassidy, the actress. She She was the she was,
She was on
she beat the shit out of Harrison Ford in Blade Runner.
Yes.
Yeah, she looked like her, but she had like short, spiky hair. She was a little butch, but butch in a sexy way. You know what I mean?
Oh, so you wanted to have sex with a man?
No. There was nothing man-like
Much
about
like
her.
John wanted to have sex with
David Bowie.
Yeah, sweet. But she was just. But the thing about her was she had a very large,
breasts.
She had lower back
she
pain.
had
very big breasts.
But they were magnificent. Now, to get up to the, I'm going to try to go faster with this. To get up to the mezzanine was a
jaunt,
a diamond plate stairwell going upstairs and everything.
Okay.
And it was all shelves, and like you knew when she was working because all the way in the back it was all dark, but you could see fluorescent lights. So because they had an office set up back there.
Okay.
Now, every now and then I would have to machine parts, and she would have to integrate them with the electronic. So I'd have to take up machine parts to her. So,
right.
You go up and all that. Hey, Jerry, how you been? You talk with her. She's a nice lady and all that. Now, when she would get done, and she was a swing shifter. She would sometimes work day shift.
Married?
No.
Ooh.
At the time, no.
Okay.
When she would come down the steps, and the whole machine shop would just stop and watch her because, yeah, everybody would just, because when she came down the steps, she used to stay there. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I like mine better.
Well, pretty much. But she would bounce down the steps and guys would look out. But she was good natured about it. After a while, guys were, ooh, hey, but she was pretty good natured about it and all. Well, after time, guys would joke about it and stuff like that. Well, she got a new job. And she had put her 2 weeks' notice in.
Okay.
So she came down to machine shop one night. He goes, Joe, listen, in 2 days we're gonna. I know you work night shift, but in a couple of days we're gonna meet up at the jug handle around 7:00 before your shift starts. Have a send off party.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to come, I said, yeah, I'll come. Sure, no problem. So we all go.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm listening.
So we all go, and so we go to the jug handle. We're all drinking, carrying on for it, and whatever, and we're having fun. We're giving her. We all signed a card.
Go ahead.
We all signed a card and all gave it to her. So now the guys are making all these. Oh, I'm gonna miss you, you're going down those steps, babe. They're saying, and she's okay with that. But then they're like,
sure she is.
Well, she says like this to me. She goes, how come you guys say that to me? Like Joe here, he doesn't talk to me that way and everything. Now these guys are all on my ass. Oh, yeah, this is he's like, oh, man, look, he's Mr. Smoothie, and, and she goes, yeah, and one of the guys, oh, don't think he's not looking. He's just like anybody else. And I go, it's true, Jerry. I said, when you come down the steps, I said, I'm just like anybody else. I'm watching. But see, I put my machine on hold. I kind of lean back, get my tea, take a sip, and I enjoy the view. Oh, look at this guy with the smooth words. And all. I said, that's what I do. Right?
Okay.
So then it's finally her last night. And she just happens to be working till midnight.
He spit up beer.
Yeah, he spit the beer out. Yeah.
Almost. I didn't lose any beer.
You got him. So
Sorry.
she's it's her last night. She's working upstairs. Now Bink is walking around.
Right.
And the thing about him is whenever I went up to see her to deliver parts, whenever I went to deliver parts, he would just pop up. He did not like anybody talking to her.
Right.
And you would hear him coming up the steps. You hear boom, 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 the steel steps.
Right.
He's like, yes, dickhead. So, I go up there. I'm delivering parts and everything. And he goes, hey, how you doing, Joe? It's your last night. Hey, listen, I got to talk to you. Right? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, what did you mean the other day when you said that? Like, kind of pissed off. And I'm like,
said what?
I don't know, that's what I'm saying. Said what? What do you mean? The other day at my party, when you said that about, you just enjoy the view, I said, oh. I said, look, I'm
Nuclear
not going to
launch detected.
I'm thinking she's like getting ready to chew my ass out for something. I'm
right.
Like, I said, look, I'm just saying, look, I'm not going to look at you with my tongue hanging out, but I'm no different than the other guys. I really think you look fantastic. And
I like breastises.
Yeah.
And you have a couple of fine ones.
Right. She goes like this. She looks at me, and I'm thinking she's pissed off about something. She
right.
looks at me. She looks to the left. She looks to the right. She grabs her sweater and pulls it up.
She gave you...
grabs her bra and just pops him out. And she goes, well, what do you think? Well, I'm like, well, yeah, no, I wasn't expecting this. Right? She goes, I'm like, hold on. I'm like, Jesus, right? You know. So and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And
You don't know what to do?
No. For a moment, I'm stunned. I was like, wow. Right? So I'm sitting there for like maybe a second and a half. Like, oh, wow. Well, that's fantastic. Jerry, you look fantastic, right?
Hamina.
Right then and there, all of a sudden, up the steps you hear, boof, 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 right? And I'm thinking, I said,
Here comes Bink.
Here comes Bink, right? So he does show up.
Tuck them away.
Well, now she's fumbling. She puts them all back in, and he knows he walked into something. It's a very awkward moment.
Yeah,
right?
she's probably all red.
Yeah, she's like,
blushing
and I'm like,
everything.
I was red. The hell with her. I was freaking out. So then he said, yeah, Jerry, listen, I need you to, before you go tonight. It's like, you son of a bitch, right? So like I'm saying, all right, Jerry, listen, I'll talk to you later. And when I say that, he goes, yeah. He said, and that was like the worst thing he could have said to me. I was like, so I go back downstairs, and my old buddy Dan, he's like half retired. He's like, I tell him what happened. I said, Dan, you won't believe what just happened to me. You're full of shit.
I would have to say you're full of shit too. I mean, if I wasn't there.
Yeah. I said, Dan, I'm not kidding you. It just happened. And I said, and that asshole Bink came walking up.
Right.
And
did you get a number?
Well, it gets better.
I would hope so.
Now I'm like, I got to get back up there. I got to get her number.
Right.
Or I'm never going to see her again.
Exactly.
You know?
Did you know where she lived?
No. I didn't know
He's not a stalker, for Christ's sake.
I'm just saying he's got to get back up there again.
Yeah, well, I got to get back up there.
Right.
Well, then Bink comes downstairs, and now he's talking to my boss. And like then my boss comes up to me. My boss was a dickhead. He talked like Marty the Martian. He had this real weird voice. So he comes up to me, Joe, listen, I know you like to go up here and sometimes talk, but she's got a job to do. I was like, freaking bastard, son of a bitch. I'm like cursing myself. So I'm thinking, okay. Now saying, I got to get up there. I said, before she goes, I got to, right? So I'm waiting. Now he's got me tied up doing some other shit. I need you to look at this. So I said, I'm like, okay. Right? So he finally goes away. I look upstairs and it's all dark up there. I'm like, oh shit. I'm thinking, oh, she can't be leaving. She can't be going. This is horrible. And I'm waiting because I'm waiting for her to come down the steps because she normally comes down through the warehouse and leaves that way.
Right.
She doesn't show up. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So now I'm waiting. Now I'm looking up there. Well, then who shows up again but Bink? And he's like, listen, I talked to Dave. I know you like to talk to, but, people got work to do. Jerry went home early. I let her go since her last night. And there's like a back door in the mezzanine that leads to the main offices. He told her to leave that way. Right?
This is the longest cockblock story I've ever heard.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Well, yeah, it was the moment was spectacular. But I mean, then,
so come on. Like, what happened? How'd you get the number?
I didn't.
You never got the number?
No. Because then he's like, well, I let her go home. I'm like,
You didn't know where she lived?
No, I didn't know anything about her other than she worked there.
And had big boobs.
Yeah, she was like, she whipped them out for me. And I'm like, so I'm like,
I don't know. That's like
Bink's talking to me. He's lecturing me. I go, Bink,
I would have had to hit him with a hammer.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to.
A ball peen hammer.
John was standing there like this. I'm like, my fists are clenched. I go, Bink, fuck you. What? What do you mean? I said, you heard me. What? What did I say? You know what you did. I said, you know what you did.
You cockblocked me, you bastard.
2 years later.
You ain't getting any either.
Finish him.
2 years later, I'm at Wegmans in Cherry Hill, and who do I run into but Jerry?
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, hey, I'll start talking. She goes, oh, yeah. I said, well, that last night, there was really something. It was, oh, yeah.
You really went right for that one? Is that what you
No, it kind of led up to that. Well,
okay, I'm glad you skipped over the small talk.
It's abbreviated it's the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah. So, Jerry, how you been? Boy, I'll tell you, that night that you whipped out your tits in front of me.
Yeah, right. So now I said, well, listen, how about, I said, how you been? I said, maybe we can get together. She goes, oh, I really can't. She brings up her hand. She's got a ring on her.
Oh.
I said, Jerry, I want to kill Bink, don't you? And she starts laughing. That's exactly that. I said, you know that after this, I really want to kill Bink. And she starts laughing. I said, I want to kill that guy. If I ever see that guy again, I'm going to kill him.
Yeah, I definitely would have cut the brake lines on his car.
So that was my epic. That was one of the worst ones.
That was the longest, best, worst cockblock story I've ever heard.
Actually, he's got one better.
Oh, I don't think we have time.
No, it's very short. It's very short and succinct. The ultimate cockblock came from my mom.
My mother cockblocked me. And my father got you got cock blocked by mom. He thought it was a riot.
Trude, what the hell?
Oh, at the time, yeah.
He's not going to marry the girl.
Yeah, you know how Genghis is.
Did you do the puppet?
Me? Yeah, absolutely. I was head to toe puppet. Well, my mother worked at Strawbridge and Clothier as a waitress.
Okay.
And she got other girls' jobs there and everything. I'm not going to, to protect the identities of the, I'm not going to name anybody, but
okay.
The one woman working there had a sister.
Okay.
Had a sister, and she was, and the sister was very hot. And I ran into her in a bar one night, and I was drinking with her, and she was with her girlfriend, so we're drinking and all that. Well, at the end of the night, it's time to go home. We're all drunk. And the girl, she said, well, you can drive me home. It's on your way anyway. I said, yeah, okay. Well, the girlfriend, no, you're not driving her home. With that voice, like, oh, great. So that was phase one of the cock block. I got cock blocked multiple times over this woman. So I was like, oh, no, I can drive her home. It's no big deal. No, you're not driving her home.
Okay.
So then her sister starts inquiring to my mother about me. Listen, my sister was saying, well, what's up with Joey and everything? My mother goes, Joey has a girlfriend.
Mom.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't notice until she told me. We're at the dinner table and she says that.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, exactly. And
so what happened? Did the girl? Then the girl knows you had a girlfriend, but this was all going on.
It was fictitious. Joe
I didn't
did
have
not
a girlfriend.
have a girlfriend.
I didn't. My mom just said that because my mom didn't like her.
Yeah. My mom was casting aspersions.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
Joey
that's not.
So she tells her I have a girlfriend, and my father hears this. My dad goes, true. Why did you do? What the hell did you do that for? Oh, what do you mean? What? Oh, that's a sin. How could you? I don't want him getting her pregnant or getting married. Oh, everybody. Oh, Jesus Christ! You got cock blocked by your own mother. I was like, oh,
yeah. I don't think that's the ultimate cock block.
Yeah,
when you get cock blocked by your own mom.
That was harsh.
The worst would be if you got cock blocked by your father. I think that's worse than your mother.
No, not Genghis. He would never.
Yeah, I think that's against the bro code.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does really break the bro
Unless you're
code.
like going up with a meth addict.
I do have a buddy who will, not only will he cock block you, but he'll do it deliberately.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Too. I know who
he got me a couple of times.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See, he wouldn't be my buddy anymore.
Well,
see,
it does put a dark shadow over our friendship.
Yeah, I would say every time that would happen, I would go up to the girl and say, he is he's HIV positive, but
yeah,
I'm sure we'll a condom with you.
Oh, very surreptitious, huh?
Right.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He got me with
that's the ultimate cock block right there.
But like that horn music, that was the second time he got me. That's exactly what I was hearing in my ears. I was, oh man, how could you do that? But he's very competitive. He was one of them guys that if he's not getting any, you're not getting any.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Well, I hear you.
Okay. I guess we ought to start the show now.
Yeah, well, okay, Mixler. Guess what? This is an hour pre-show that we're doing. We've had some pizza. We're going to stop.
Pizza, nature's perfect food.
Right. Come on back next week. When we do the show next week, we'll probably break into the show a little bit sooner. If you do want to hang out with us and talk and actually hear the show, just go to brandxpodcast.com or check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or any podcast catcher that you have. All right, we're going to leave here. Yes, I want to stop this broadcast.
That's a stupid question.
Yes, I want to.
Like, Are you sure?
Are you sure? Okay.
That's what I love about Apple products. I don't have to answer stupid questions like that. Are you sure? You wouldn't. Okay,
Facebook Live. We're going to jump off too. So thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you, Mindy and Nick and Amy was here hanging out with us also. Let's see who else was here. Daniel Reports from the Toe and the Trigger.
I feel like such a pig telling these stories to women,
Right,
you haven't listened to very many podcasts.
I guess.
You listen to Toe and the Trigger. Let me tell you something. That's mild.
That's a must listen.
Yeah, it's a must listen.
Yeah.
Toe and the Trigger is a must listen. And 3 is comedy. Mindy was hanging out here with us. So thank you guys. And my cousin Greg. All right, Facebook Live. We're out of here. We'll talk to you next week.